Alright, ladies and gents, as ever, my name is Shane, and that's Shane's Games, and tonight we're going to be playing Shadowrun Hong Kong for the PC. This won't be our first time playing it, so if you're just joining us tonight, if you want to see how we got to where we are tonight, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, but for right now, let's go ahead and get into the game. I'll recap the concept real quick. Let's see, now that can't run, I had to go to bed last time, I'm going to be so lost. We only did one mission last time, so the only thing you need to know, what happened in that last mission is, we tried to convince people that the city council was corrupt. We failed, so we killed all of them and have a new ghoul best friend. Which wasn't how I wanted that mission to go, but what am I going to say no to a ghoul best friend? Come on. Come on. So the basic premise of this game is we came to Hong Kong at the behest of our adoptive father, only to be ambushed and have some of our friends killed. Now we are trying to figure out where our father is, if he's even still alive, who wants us dead and why, and what the hell is going on in the Kowloon walled city. In the meantime, just running Shadowruns until we can get the money and the resources to figure it out. Let's see, have you tried Dr. Pepper Strawberries and Cream? I did not see it at the store last time I went, but I'm keeping my eyes open, most definitely. Alright, so we just got back to town after that last job. Chris Technician, thank you so much for the gift sub to Saribot right there, the bot that most people don't even know is in here. Gift sub number 36, thank you so much for that, Chris, I appreciate that. So yeah, we just got back into town. We haven't done much after that last job, and I see it says we have a level up available. Is that for our new friend? No! We have a level, third level stuff. What the heck does the Saribot do? I know you'd ask that because no one's ever seen Saribot do anything in this channel, and that's because Saribot's never done anything in this channel. Saribot is an anti-hate raid bot. Saribot is there to automatically shut down hate raids if it sees them. We have had one of those. We have had one of those in the channel, so just as a precautionary measure, I decided to get a bot that would help stop them. So yeah. Yeah, hopefully Saribot never needs to do anything. We had, like I said, we had one. It wasn't cool. I didn't appreciate it. But yeah, just as a precaution, Saribot's in here now, and Saribot's been hanging around just in case, so that's good. That is really cool. I didn't know it did that, and that's really clever. Like, just a cool bot. Just a cool bot. Alright, so let's see what we got here. What options do we have? So Gobbet has Territoriality. Gobbet's Rat Totem Invocation does 99 damage to any hostile spirit. This spell can only be used on spirits. That's ridiculously powerful, but that's very niche. Like, you can go on an entire run and not see any spirits. Let's see, what do they hate? Fun? I guess. That's all we do here. I've heard good things about Dokapon Kingdom. I have not tried that one myself, but you'll have to let me know how you like it. Oh, let's see, that is a delete button right there. It really is. Just see a spirit and just go, nope. And her other one is Spiritualist. Gobbet's Rat Totem Invocation can steal control of spirits that have been summoned by enemy shamans. Note that only one spirit can be under control until rank 5 spirit control when it increases to 2. So do I want to murder spirits or do I want to take control of spirits? Ooh. I don't know, spirits are in these games are unpredictable. They're kind of all over the place, and they always have a chance of turning on you, so I think I'll keep with the delete button. That's a nice spirit there, it'd be a shame something were to happen to it. Yeah, let's keep the delete button. That sounds hilarious. So we'll keep that. Yeah, I never would deal with them. Me neither. Especially because they're a consumable in this game. As soon as that happens, I'm like, I'm out. Basically means free summons, that's true, and especially if summons are expensive, having free ones would be nice. Let's see, Raptor. Raptor has Predator. Raptor's drone gains an auto shotgun attachment, which does an additional 2 damage at the cost of -5 accuracy. Can hit adjacent targets at ranges of 6 or greater, uses 10 ammo. Or Mangler. Raptor's drone Koshei gains a mounted saw blade arm in the melee systems. The attack's critical chance is greatly boosted, cooldown 2. See, I want to use the bot as a ranged bot, so I think we're going to give him the shotgun. Because bot with a shotgun, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Board Jams, good evening. How are you doing today? Hope you are doing well. Glad to have you with us. What else have we got? Oh, hey, Gaichu! This is our new ghoul friend. We've got 2 level ups for him since we just got him. So first at level 2, he has Red Samurai. Gaichu gains a defensive ability that adds +2 armor and +1 dodge for 2 rounds. Costs 1 AP, cooldown 5, so it's a very expensive cooldown. Or Ghoul. Gaichu gains a claw ability, Rip. Does an additional 2 damage and 2 bleeding for 2 rounds. Costs 1 AP, cooldown 2. Ooh. So do I want more offense or more defense is the question. Like the problem with Red Samurai is it only gives him armor for 2 rounds, but has a 5-round cooldown. That's pretty brutal. Whereas bleeding damage is really nice. Let's see. I don't know why, maybe it's my addiction to Nuki, but when I read auto shotgun, I automatically click yes. It's not just a shotgun, it's an auto shotgun. Shoddy bot. Oh, Shoddy body. It's so good. I'm looking forward to trying that one out. All right, I think I'm going to give him Rip. Best defense is good offense. So at level 3, we've got Red Samurai. Gaichu gains a ranged ability, a quick shuriken toss. Damage 12, 1 AP, max range 10. Or Spit. Gaichu gains a ranged ability, spitting infected saliva into the target's face. It ignores all armor. Damage 8 with an additional 4 damage for 2 rounds. Ooh. I like the ignores armor and does damage over time, but also this is a thing that isn't super obvious reading this, but because this is a thrown weapon, he actually gets strength bonuses on the damage to this. And because he is a strength-based character, that can do actually some ridiculous damage. Disgusting, but it weakens the enemy. I think I'm going to go with the shuriken, though. Because that's got some good range. It's got good range. And just should be a big spike of damage every once in a while, which is nice. Alright, what else we got? Duncan, our security specialist. So he's got Lethal Force. Duncan gains an assault rifle ability that has a 99% chance to kill an enemy who has less than 25% HP remaining, +2 damage, cooldown 2. Holy crap! Mercy kill, what the hell? And Crowd Control. Duncan's Subdue ability has its cooldown reduced from 3 rounds to 2 rounds. I don't know what his Subdue ability is, so we're going to take the Mercy kill. That's fine. Isabel, our Decker. She's got Sabotage. Isabel gains a pistol ability that increases accuracy by 30% and critical chance for a small amount for 1 shot. That sounds nice. And Espionage. Integrated Tactical Computer marks weak points in her opponent's armor. Isabel's Mark Target ability now reduces the target's armor by 1. Yeah, Isabel doesn't do a lot of damage, so if she can, like, help other people do damage, I think that's probably for the best. We'll give her Espionage. Someone's gotta do the executing. They do. They do. Duncan's gonna do a murder. Probably several, honestly. Alright, last up is Gobbet. No, we already did Gobbet. Alright, so is that everybody? That does appear to be everybody. Alright, confirm all. There we go, new abilities. Beautiful, that'll make the next run even more interesting. 0 out of 10, terrible game. That's fair. Alright, let's go say hi to everybody. Hey, 10-armed Ambrose. Ambrose looks up from what appears to be a housework drone on the operating table. Scrub up and get me the defibrillator panels, Max. I'm installing some headers on this guy's liver, and now we're gonna shock him back to life. Ambrose bursts into laughter. But seriously, hand me the lube. What can I do for you today? Hey, have you been having dreams, Ambrose? Like, nightmares? Nightmares? Hell, Max, that's my life. I curl up with a bottle of vodka and a handful of pills every night. But if you mean the toothy hunting horror dream, yeah, I've been having it. Shit, it's more than just one nightmare. Ambrose drops his voice and leans forward a little in his wheelchair. Let me tell you, though, I've been doing a brisk business in sleep aids. Just today, somebody asked me for some ketamine. Ketamine! That stuff is a horse tranquilizer. What the hell made him think of that? Why can I ask for ketamine? No, I don't want ketamine. Can you think of any medical reason we'd all be having the same nightmare? Nope. Even if we were all doing something similar, intensively, it shouldn't happen. Our experiences are all too different. I've heard of mages and shamans who are somehow connecting to each other sharing dreams, but that's all. Ambrose waves his hand dismissively. Hell, what do I know? I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy who subscribes to psychological modernista. If you want to know about dreams, ask Crafty. My formal diagnosis is that something fucking weird is going on. Thanks, Ambrose. No problem. Just doing my part to tamp down the crazy. Hey, Lee, too. Welcome in. How are you doing today? How's your week going so far? So, hey, Ambrose, you were a Hong Kong Shadowrunner. I was. He looks down at the remnant of his body, scarred and dismembered. Sure don't look like one now. Ambrose yawns and stretches, straining his leg stump and scarred arm in opposite directions. Man, that feels good. So, there's a particular way this conversation goes. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Yeah, we orbit around each other for a while, then tacitly agree to speak only in the vaguest of terms. Ambrose looks at you approvingly. Grapevine says it's your first rodeo, but I'm not sure I believe that. Listen, I'm circumspect about my past, and you're a new active runner, so I want to know any of your story. It's only a liability to me. Ambrose props himself up painfully and leans forward a little. His living eye has an intelligent gleam to it. So let's make this conversation useful. I'll cut the BS and give you some lowdown in Hong Kong from an expat runner perspective. In return, you don't dig from my jobs list. Deal? Deal. Rock solid. Hong Kong is a good lily pad for a derby crasher like yourself, Max. The shadows are deep, the money flows, it's friendly to foreigners, and there's no real government. The whole place is run by corporations and syndicates. However, as fresh meat off the boat, you gotta decide who you want to be. Foreign runners follow 3 career paths in the Kong. They assimilate, they burn their bridges, and get out fast, or they die. If you're a short timer, you can be as violent and splashy as you want, but... A Waldo arm swings over his shoulder and points emphatically at you with his claw. If you're in it for the long haul, learn the local arts. Discretion, restraint, respect. Get that long-term face and don't embarrass people. Hong Kong shadows grind through expendable runners who are loaded up with bad face and then dumped in Victoria Harbor. So whatever you do, watch your back. Anything I can do to mitigate the risk? Just keep your head on a swivel. If you're only planning to be here for a couple months and then vanish, cash in big. But if you want a life here, you gotta play by the rules. The other thing to remember is that Hong Kong is a really complex place. It's one of the great global cities with enclaves of every major megacorp. It's a syndicate town, it's a refugee magnet, and it's Guangdong. At some level, anything goes here, but, Ambrose takes a deep breath and continues in a tone of low appreciation. When in doubt, assume that old Hong Kong tradition rules. I say that as a loudmouth bastard. Be polite. Be modest. Honor favors. Maintain face. Give respect. And always treat people's time as valuable. Hey, you seem pretty into this, Ambrose. Hong Kong fascinates me. I used to hate it here. Now, I love it. Ambrose takes a big breath and sighs contentedly. I found a nice little piece. If you survive, maybe you can too. Sure do seem like a survivor. People know who I am, but only in the network. Kindly runs this neighborhood like a separate country. You paddle a boat across the canal, and no one's ever heard of me. I never would... Ambrose suddenly stops himself as if he realizes what he's saying. He finishes lamely. Anyway, it's private. You're not a wanted man, are you, Ambrose? There ain't no paper out on Ambrose Rockatansky, if that's what you're asking. I'm clean as a whistle. Well, that's my wisdom. Ambrose breaks into a chuckle. Wait, what am I saying? My wisdom is you can never be too low profile, too lawyered up, or too well armed. You're pretty banged up. Why haven't you installed some bionic limbs? Ambrose taps his temple with one of his only remaining fingers. Because I'm already chromed up to the gills. I don't look it, but I got a full suite. Quad jacks, no-soft, radio, skill wire, tactical computer, whole bunch of rigger wear. He lifts his dirty t-shirt, revealing a pair of tubes emerging from his side, running down into the wheelchair. Check it out. I got an artificial liver in my chair. I want to keep my last essence. I've come to like my humanity. I want to turn into one of those Walking Dead. Sorry, Walking Dead? Oh, come on. You know the name, right? The Walking Dead. Toasters. Chromouts. I don't want to be one of those lug wrenches who cyber themselves to within an inch of their lives and stop feeling normal emotions. No, I haven't. That's interesting. Seriously? You must live under a rock. Too much cyber bleaches your soul. I don't want that to happen to me. Ambrose shakes his head sadly. It's a crying shame. There's such amazing things we could do with unlimited augmentation. Ambrose scratches himself ostentatiously with a robotic arm. Listen, I like talking about my chrome more than the next guy, but not right now. Besides, it's kind of a personal subject. You looking for something today? Nah, I'm going to take off. Cheers, Max. Talk to you later. Let's see. Just got to do it back from doing a bit of a checkup with the cat. Another blood test just in case everything is still okay. Or in case something's still wrong. I hope everything's still good. I'll keep my fingers crossed, though. Tarek Silver, welcome in. How are you doing today? Yeah, as soon as I read Rockatansky, I'm like, I've only heard that name in one place. Walker's Carl. Roxanne, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you are doing well. Glad to have you with us. Alright, let's take a peek over here. K-Cena, thank you for the 57-month resub with the text. Oh, geez. Oh, geez to you as well. How are you doing today, K-Cena? How's your weekend going? Hope all is well. Let's see. Go talk to Frederick over here, see how he's doing. Frederick Kaffai stands stolidly against the club door, his arms folded against an impossibly large chest. He eyes those entering and leaving the club like a god might look down from Olympus, and he smiles while doing so. Hey, Max, been hearing more about you. Yeah, what'd you hear? Oh, this and that. Probably all misinformation or slander. You tell me. Heard you might have killed some guy, or maybe a couple dozen guys. Maybe even you're a terrorist. Not sure that one fits, but you do look like a heavy hitter. I'm a lover and a fighter. Club 88 caters to both. And you're in the right company with me. You know they call me the untouchable? Never taken so much as a scratch. Of course, my snot brother says it's because people are afraid to hurt me, else they might lose face with their parents. As if that would ever stop one of these punks, right? Not a scratch. He pulls up his taut t-shirt, revealing a thick layer of form-fitting body armor below it. Of course, things that get stopped by this stuff don't count as scratches. Handled some rough customers, have you? I do what I do. It's what I do. Think about it. Inside, my brother sells the kind of things that'll make a Buddhist monk turn psychotic. And then in back, my ma is selling enough firepower to blow the roof 6 times over. In other words, we sell petrol and matches. And yours truly is the firefighter. But this firefighter ain't never been burned. No, not once. Pretty impressive, right? You just let me know if you're needing some additional muscle. You can call on Mr. Untouchable and get the job done. Yeah, I know, they never mentioned the cat. Let me know the deal with the cat. I want to know. Warden, welcome in. How's everything going with you today, Warden? Hope you're doing well. Tell me more about your family. You may think I'm impressive, and sure, my brother Callum and my ma work hard to keep this place afloat, but people don't realize things about my ba. He's not just some old sailor. You want to know the secret? He was a pirate, one of the very best. Over 20 years at sea and he was never caught. Untouchable, just like me. You ask him about it and he'll deny it. I'm sure he's made enemies over the years. Gotta play it smart. Gotta keep his past a secret. But I figured it out a long time ago. He's a great man, my ba. That's why I gotta be strong to live up his example. How much do you bench press, Frederick? I don't bench press. I do dumbbell presses. They're more functional. The bench press artificially stabilizes things too much. This is true. This is correct. You get more of a workout in your stabilizers if you do two dumbbells instead of a barbell. Frederick's got this down. But to answer your question, when I do bench, I max out around 700 kilos. He grins confidently. That's double the current world bench press record for unmodified humans, by the way. I'm gonna leave you be. You don't get the strong side compensation with dumbbell presses? That's true. That's true. It's a choice. It's a choice. I do usually recommend dumbbell presses if you have the equipment. Obviously, it's cheaper to do barbell presses because, you know, the equipment's a little easier to come by. 1,500! That's disgusting! 3/4 of a ton! Alright, yeah, I'm not gonna mess with him. Please validate my nickname of Untouchable, please. I know the feeling, Warden. I'm like, I always rush my last couple days on the job because I'm just like, I want to make sure nobody calls me while I'm gone. Do you even lift? He does. Holy crap. Hey, Henry. Plus, you can slam dumbbells on the floor after the set. And if you have good rubberized floors, they bounce real nice, which I appreciate. Henry Kaufai putters about the back of the club like a great hulking ghost. Despite his size, he goes largely unnoticed by the club's clientele. It is as if they all have a blind spot in which he is happy to reside. Why do you insist on chatting like this? Am I bothering you? I can leave. No, it's just unusual. Most people leave me be. They don't know me, except maybe by name. They certainly don't know what I do here, so they have no cause to speak with me. I don't need a reason for a friendly chat. You may be the only one. Seems like I go days without speaking to my own family. But I've gotten used to being the forgotten one in this place. Ermine and Callum are the faces of our business. Freddy is the face of our law, so to speak. I'm no good unless I'm out on the water. Got any good stories for your days at sea? Stories? An old sailor always has stories. My early years I worked the fishing boats. I swear it seemed like every day we caught something in our nets stranger than the day before. Sometimes it was cargo, either lost or thrown overboard by panicking smugglers. Sometimes it was bits of ship wrecked by those super typhoons they say the geomancers cause. We'd haul up the occasional body. Figure some of them were refugees, either from the mainland after the Civil War, or the Philippines after that whole mess. Human trafficking, pirates, lots of bodies in these waters. And more and more we'd pull up bizarre sea creatures. Not sure if they were mutants or some kind of awakened critters. The small ones we always threw back as soon as we caught them. If you didn't know what something is, it's best to assume it sprays acid or lays eggs in your brain. The big ones, he shakes his head in disbelief. A lot of times, we had to cut loose the net. Nets cost a fortune, but when the whole boat shudders, or you see 3-meter spines or tentacles or something break the surface, you know it's not worth saving the net. Those were good times, though. Simpler times. Got more complicated as I got older, and as the seas got ever more fished out. Even more complicated now that I'm stuck on dry land. Yeah, I guess the skills of a sailor don't really translate to club ownership. No, they don't. I want to be a good provider, but I just don't know how to contribute anymore. I think about my own father. He was a fisherman long before me. 40 years, he went out early in the morning and returned late at night. Put food on the table in a very literal sense. He did that without complaint every week until the day he died. That's providing. That's being a good husband and father as far as I'm concerned. My father wouldn't last a day in this life of mine. The world's just moved on from what he knew and from what I know. I miss those simpler times. I'll leave you be, Henry. He's a good dude, though. He is. Freddy doesn't lift. Freddy hoists. I love that. Ooh, really? That is awesome, Warden. I didn't actually see it. I thought I had it set up so I got notification. Oh! Yeah, just got the notification now. Thank you for that, Warden. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoy. You'll have to let me know. Yeah, just went through now. I'm like, I should have got a notification as soon as I picked up my phone. It popped up. Thank you for that. All right, who else have we got in here? We'll check in with Callum. Though Callum's the drug dealer, we're not going to be interacting with him too much. Looking to score. I'd like to know a little more about you. Me? What do you want to know about me? I'm nothing. I sling poison to the dregs of Aoi. Not like I ever wanted anything more than this, right? I can see it on your face. Probably see it all over mine. What good would an education serve someone like me? Well, why would I ever consider making something of myself? To go places? Sure, I can fill out a suit like nobody's business, but people see a troll in Armani like they see an organ grinder's monkey. No, this is the place for me. This is where I belong. This is not a nice thing to ask someone. Why? I'm not going to click that button because that is a horrific thing to ask someone. Jesus. Seriously. Oh my god. Ambra suddenly bribes. Ambra, thank you so much for the gift sub to Rook's Honor right there. Gift sub number 1,330 in the channel. Very much appreciated. And Killuminati Alabrad? What the hell is that name? The most immediately noticeable thing about this orc is his immaculately maintained red mohawk and the beer he's busily nursing. Emperor, thank you so much for the gift sub to Awkward Question Time. Hey, how many shots would it take to kill you, do you think? Like 5 or 6? Does it matter if it's like torso shots? Or... Thank you so much for that, Emperor. Gift sub number 1,331. Much appreciated. The red hawk needs to go. I don't know. It works with the collar, I think. Roadbug, welcome in. How are you doing today? Do you think it was alcohol shots? Because it also could be the fact that he's a drug dealer. It could be like injections. Either way, that's a weird question to ask somebody, I think. I think Shay needs a red mohawk, but what would I do with my headset? It'd smush it. Let's see. He fixes you with a mischievous grin as you approach, touching 2 fingers to his brow in salute. Hey there, Chief, what's cracking? Do I know you? Extending his hand, the orc shakes his head. No, but you might want to, at least if you need a shaman on your crew. Killuminati Alabrad at your service. Haven't had a chance to get established in Hong Kong yet. Maybe you can help change that. How do you know that I'm a Shadowrunner? You kidding me? Everybody around here knows about you. Guess they don't get a lot of foreigners who move in and immediately start cozying up the local Yellow Lotus straw sandal. The rest of us have to show up here and hope somebody needs a hired gun. So I'm assuming he's another one of the hireable NPCs. What kind of shaman are you, Kill? Kind of shotgun, a penchant for bad luck? He lets out a roaring laugh and slaps a hand against his leg. I killed myself. Seriously though, Coyote guides me. What's Coyote like? He's happy-go-lucky, willing to take life as it comes. You gotta ride the waves, and the universe will take care of you, you know? Can't fight what's fated to be, but you can bend the rules if you're smart. Coyote likes shamans that are like that, like me. Like most shamans, I felt this call when I was a teenager. I'd been running with a local gang, trying to scrape together enough money not to starve. One day we were having a dust-up with the Black Hammers, and I just felt this force. It welled up in me, and next thing I knew, their knives just bounced off my skin. Things being what they are, I decided to make some real money was in order. I ditched the gang and started hiring myself out to whoever offered the most union. It's all I've ever done, but I'm good at it. You're not likely to find many better, in fact. Your accent sounds North American. Sure is. Born and raised in Federal Way, Seattle Metroplex. Not as bad as the Redmond Barrens, but still a total hellhole. Kinda miss the big gray Northwest, but I guess being swamped by monsoons here in the FEZ is pretty similar. Less acid in the rain, though. So why'd you leave? Yeah, I think it was getting pretty heavy for me. There was a big blowout with Universal Brotherhood, and a lot of bad magic going on. I decided it'd be better to lay low out here until things calm down. I think it might be longer than expected, though. Cash isn't coming as fast as I'd like. What do you think of Haoi? Frankly, I hate it. Walled City gives me the creeps, big time. Something is seriously wrong with that place, and I don't mean it's a slum kind of way. Watch your step if you have to go in there. What kind of wrong is it then? There's something off with the Walled City's aura. Something in the astral is just sick there, but I can't tell what. It's like all that misery and pain is just building on itself. Every misery empowers all the other miseries there. I'd say you couldn't pay me to go in there, but you probably could. I'm a sucker for a payday. I'll talk to you later, Killuminati. Keep safe, okay? You know where to find me. Ride the wave? What is he, surfer bro? Watch out, they are crazy. He certainly seems to have an edge to him. If a coyote shaman doesn't like a place, it is bad news. Oh yeah, but we already knew there's something very bad going on in the walled city. Hey, Ermine. Ermine haggles with a dwarf over the price of a customized shotgun, sealing the deal with the offer of a size-appropriate bandolier. The dwarf leaves happy, and Ermine slots another black market cred stick into her stash. Welcome back, Max. How can I help you? Business good? Business is booming, as always. People like easy solutions, and they'll pay good money for them. Guns are one way, booze and drugs are another. This is why we sell what we sell. My son Callum doesn't understand this. He thinks he'd be happier as some corporate drone. But I've been there, and I can say for certain it's all just a longer path to where we are now. It all ends with drinking, sometimes killing. At least we're direct about it. How'd you end up selling guns out of here? Back when my husband worked for Wu Xing, he had a little side operation, smuggling weapons right under the corporation's nose. Strictly small time and barely worth the risk. But it brought in a little extra money, which we desperately needed. But Henry was never that good at brokering the deals. He always hated that part of the business. Didn't care to haggle, always leaving money on the table. We fought about it often, and one day he told me to handle it if I cared so much. So I did. As it turned out, I was better at it. Much better. I worked in the business world before the boys were born. I knew how these things must be done, so I began to make all the deals. I secured the products, I found the buyers. In time, we didn't even need Henry to babysit the shipments. Our influence is growing strong, and now we run everything safer from dry land. So what's the problem with Callum again? There is no problem, as long as he remembers his place is here. There are too many ideas in that boy's head, too much ambition. Ambition like that never leads to a good end. You should be happy with what we built for him. He's the eldest and so very smart. One day he'll take control of the club and all its business. He feels trapped here. He wants to be free. The irony is his idea of freedom is to work for a corporation. I know from experience there is nothing further than the truth. They don't call you wage slaves without good reason. But here, we have true freedom. We make our own way. I wish you realized this. I try to make him understand, but only seems to drive him further away. I worry that if I try too hard, I'll lose him to his ambitions. Yeah, that is tricky. That is definitely tricky. Alright. So luckily we don't need guns because I am a spell slinger. And if I ever resort to my guns, it's probably because something's going terribly wrong. Let's not worry about that right now. I'll hold off talking to the tech guy, because I'm not sure how he's going to take recent news. Let's go talk to Spider Shen. Shen is busily engaged in a conversation with someone at the other end of a video call. The other individual appears to be a tremendously handsome elf wearing an immaculate and undoubtedly pricey custom suit. Shen doesn't appear to notice you. I'm just saying, if the customs office gives me any more crap about importing those tiger snakes, I'm going to be up a creek without a paddle. The elf nods, tilting his head back with a mischievous grin. Leave it to me. I have some friends in Customs House, and between that and their shoddy record-keeping, I'm certain I can get your snakes out of quarantine. It'll take a day, maybe two. Takes longer than that, it's because someone specifically doesn't like you. At last, Shen seems to notice you. Hold on, Yang, I'll call you back. Got a customer here. Putting down the comm link, Shen bows. Hello again. What can Spider Shen do for you today? Who's the good-looking elf? He's my lawyer, Yang. Our lawyer, I should say, since he's another Blue Lantern. He's part of the same crew. Shen lifts a thin, shiny sword, turning it over so the light glitters along the edge. I don't do a lot of things that are legal in the strictest sense. Helps to have a good lawyer, you know? For most Shadowrunners, getting caught is the end of their career. Well, see, there you go. If you had a good lawyer, that wouldn't be a problem. Shen grins, chin tilted upward. Saves you a world of trouble, man. Most of the time, caught means dead for us. Shen is unmoved by this information. Well, then your lawyer can make sure the inheritance goes to the right people, eh? Just one time we had to cause a big fuss and make sure it pointed at the Red Dragon Syndicate. We ran into one of the protection rackets and started causing all kinds of a fuss. Breaking windows, setting fires, roughing up patrons. Yang told us to wait and get arrested. Problem was, there was a vice squad that really wanted us caught and thrown in jail. We'd embarrassed him a few times already. Shen chuckles quietly. Turns out he'd used a Decker contact to make sure to swap a bunch of public recordings, so the traffic cameras would conclusively show us somewhere else and arriving at the last minute. He also made sure the vice squad that arrested us was cited for failing to fail the proper paperwork on a bunch of previous cases. Squad got canned, we got let go, it was a thing of beauty. You, getting some new pets in? Shen frowns dourly. They're not pets, they're an investment. I can make anti-venom serums from them, or I can use the raw venom to accomplish tasks that would otherwise be too messy and loud. You do wet work for the Yellow Lotus? The situation demands it. Normally I work for Grandfather Woe exclusively. Sometimes, though, he asks me to do someone else a favor. Shen produces a needle from below the boat's table, casually flicking it off to the side. Glancing over, you see that it's embedded halfway in a metal crate. I solve problems. I never know what the problem will be, so I have an array of tools at my disposal. It's like this. Yes, I can hurt people, but I can also heal them. I learned to heal with my medicine before I learned to hurt. When you learn how the body works, you learn how to break it as well as to fix it. It's like a mechanic in a car engine. If you know how to fix it, you know how to disable it. Alright, let's see what you got. I mean, if you're dead, then those lawyer fees probably don't mean as much. This is true. One illegal thing at a time! Most of them aren't furry, though, except the spiders, I imagine. Kuma, how are you doing today? Let me show out a recent game that isn't exactly obscure. Yes, Pizza Tower! I've heard people saying really good things about that one. Is it kind of a platformer, though? I'm so bad at platformers. Every damn day is Shut the Fuck Up Friday. Every goddamn day. This is true. This is true. Let's see, what do we get here? Counter-Strike, Quick Strike, Stride. Martial Defense. The adept gains a light cover bonus against incoming attacks. Better for a physical adept, I imagine. Emperor, thank you for the gift sub to STFU Friday. Holy shit, how does that exist? That's amazing. Emperor gift sub number 1332. Thank you very much for that. Oh god, Rooks, they do. Rose, it's Flat Fuck Friday, you fucking losers. I have seen on my Mastodon timeline the flattest of all alligators. Like, for a second, I thought it was actually Roadkill, but then he was just chilling. And I'm like, oh, he's just like that. How are you doing today, Rose? What have you been up to recently? Bribes for emphasis? Thank you, Emperor. Oh, it's Wario Land 4. All right, yeah, no, I know Wario Land 4. The Wario series needs to come back. It had some really clever mechanics. It just was really fun. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought you were going to 1337. Because Leet is nice. Leet is nice. Alright, so I'm good here. Grinding through Last Epoch, still not fully released, but I like playing an ARPG. Respectable. Hope you're enjoying it. Bribe 1331 was a meme bribe. Great success. Excellent. Alright, so let's head over this way. They actually changed the name of the boat. The original name has been sloppily painted over the black paint. Freshly painted characters have been done in bold brushstrokes and read Kraken. Oh, Gobbit, you're the best. Thank you for that. Slow Mario with tackling, those were the days. Yeah, Captain Syrup needs to come back, seriously. There's a character with legs. Alright, the 30 men are once again fixated on their game board. Gian rubs his hands together nervously, his face twisted in concentration. It appears that Shio now has the upper hand. The silence of the game is deafening. Amateur players would be filling the air with clicks and clacks of the stones against the wooden playing board, relentlessly trying to outdo another. These men are different. I need to blow my nose real quick. I will be right back, folks. Alright, sorry about that. Let's see. Emperor, honestly, you thought it was a lofty goal to reach the number of gift subs for my username? I don't think I've ever seen anybody give that many gift subs, and I'm completely appreciative of the enormity of that. Thank you so much for all of that. Alright, Shio picks up a small black stone. His hand reaches over the board, then pauses. Gian stares at the outstretched hand, suddenly still. Shio begins to lower the stone. Down, down. Gian is practically on his toes, and then Shio pulls his hand back. Perhaps not there. He strokes his short beard thoughtfully. Gian tosses his arms into the air, nearly knocking over the playing board. Damn it, Shio. When you start a move, you commit to it. I swear if you're doing this on purpose. Friends. Lao interrupts the players. We have a visitor. The two players look up. Gian sighs and holds his face in one hand and mutters something beneath his breath. Shio's eyes fix on you. He stares, unspeaking. His generous smiles and playfulness from before are absent. Sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering if you're all still having those dreams. This again. Don't you have anything better to do? Yes, we're all still having the dreams. Lao's voice is calm but troubled. However, got a hell of a lot worse. Gian shifts uncomfortably. Look, let's not go into detail. Anything you've got would be great. He mulls this over. Alright, but afterward, you have to let us finish our game. Sure. He nods approvingly, then glances at Lao and Shio before continuing. Our dreams have become, unpleasant, so to say. Darker. Violent. He runs his hand along his tightly cropped beard. Not at all healthy, if you ask me, especially for men of our age. We come out of them in a daze sometimes. Feels like we've been punched in the senses. And the imagery. You can see him shiver as he thinks about it. Well, I said no details, so no details. That about sum it up, Shio, Master Lao? I have nothing more to add. Shio? Shio's eyes bore into you. No, nothing. Everything all right, Shio? You've been staring at me for a while. Shio continues to stare at you, his face pale. He opens his mouth, closes it. He seems to be struggling to find words. What's wrong with you, Shio? You better not be having a stroke. We're in the middle of a game. If Shio heard Gin, he doesn't show it. He looks at you and his eyes widen. You need to go faster. His voice is urgent, pleading. The shadows that follow you are getting closer. Excuse us, Max. Our friend is tired. Lao claps a hand on Shio's shoulder, who doesn't seem to notice. These dreams have taken a toll on all of us. Please come back some other time. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset anyone. Enjoy your game. Well, that was creepy. Alright. Me caught up. Thank you for that, Emperor. Let's just say the fate of the whole city is on the line. That would be an intense game of Hungry Hungry Hippos. Yeah, some of these dialogues, holy shit. Oh, hey, reliable Matthew. Let's see how he's holding up. A hover drone loiters in front of Matthew. A stream of profanity is spewing from its scratchy speakers. People nearby are looking away, ignoring the awkward situation. Matthew's cigarello is dead, drenched by rain. He stands with his signature nonchalance, but the edges of his face are twitching. His eyes are wide with fear. You could listen in, but you've already got the gist. Matthew's being chewed out. Excuse me. Let's see if we can listen in any. A sharp voice emits from the hover drone, interspersed with static crackles. Don't pick up the sales, you're gonna be digging dog shit out of tire treads for a living, you got me? Reliable Matthew stutters a response. Hey, Kung Ha, come on, beautiful, I got a half dozen hot leads coming in just today. Don't give me your cheap hustler shtick, loser. If you don't push tin, you and your fuzzy little pals are gonna be living out of a cardboard box. Don't worry, Buda. I want to hear yes, sir, if I hear anything else. I'm going to pull your eyes down to your ass so you can watch me kick the crap out of you. You hear me? Yes, sir. Matthew's voice is barely a whisper. What was that? He says it louder. Yes, sir. That's better. Now don't screw this up, you damned screw-up. The drone's speakers finish with a shriek of feedback and clack back into the hull. The drone soars up into the sky and races off upriver. Matthew shakes himself off. His cheery demeanor surges back, with striking resilience. He turns towards you a little wild-eyed, but otherwise restored to his usual self. Max, I hardly saw you there. Come on in, don't be a stranger, beautiful. Who are you talking to through the hover drone there? One of my suppliers, Kung Ha. Really good businessman, sharp guy. Sees opportunity where most of us only see broken parts. Funny guy, makes me laugh my ass off. He sounded, how do I phrase this? Unhappy. Oh, it's just Kung Ha. He's like a paper tiger. Matthew sways back and forth on his feet, languid and jittery at the same time. He's a big joker, always shouting, but I think he's a real softy at heart. Real big heart for the little people. Keeps me well stocked. So, what's your arrangement with Kung Ha? I sell on commission. Gotta keep those bots moving. They don't earn their keep sitting out in the barge. You don't own most of these drones? Matthew's brow arches in surprise. Of course not. How could I afford them? I'm so lucky to have a guy like Kung Ha as a partner. Only problem is he's got me laughing in stitches so much, it sometimes distracts me from the sales. Kung Ha's a funny guy, you say. Yeah, I was laughing my ass off over here. Matthew gives you a long, awkward smile. The seconds stretch out. He blinks uncomfortably. When he speaks, his words sound stilted, like he's repeating a mantra. He's a funny guy. Matthew adjusts his suit lapels with mechanical gusto. Whew, what a pep talker that Kung Ha. I feel like I could take on the world right now. I'm gonna leave you be, Matthew. Yeah, everybody's open with our character. We have to do a little convincing. Those, the Go players didn't initially want to talk to us. Hey, Relentlessly, welcome in. How are you doing today? How's your week going so far? Yeah, Matthew, I suspect, has been through some shit. So he's, that's not the first time he's been chewed out. He's got a technique. Yeah, same here, Relentlessly. Oh, it's a talent. It is absolutely positively a talent. Alright. Let us head over to the magic shop, the parlor of 5 phases. Hey, Crafty. Immediately upon entering, you notice the clutter. Somehow the small magic shop is even messier than before. Stacks and stacks of books occupy chairs, tables, and the tops of shelves. There seems to be even more than when you first visited. It's as if you just entered a paper factory in its spawning season. You peer around a precariously arranged tower of books and find Crafty hungrily reading one of her mother's journals. Red rings at her eyes, and tousled hair falls over her face. Looks like she hasn't seen the better part of a pillow in a couple days. She moves to stretch and spots you. With a quick flick of her hand, she marks her place in the journal. What a welcome sight. Have you found anything? Not too much yet. How about you? A slow smile spreads across her cheeks. She nods. This mind-numbing tedium's starting to pay off. Check this out. The dreams that everyone's having, they aren't really dreams. They're omens. From what I've gathered, we're walking a fine line here. They're pretty dangerous. Attempts to interpret them could lead to mixed results. What do you mean by omens? You know, omens. Harbingers of doom and gloom and bad things to come. Her mouth twists to the side as she thinks. Just a minute. Crafty opens a drawer behind the counter and brings out a dictionary. Clears her throat. Omen, a sign that warns of future events by way of visionary creatures or hallucinations. She closes the book with a thump. What causes them? Apparently, these sorts of portents are commonly linked with malign places and disaster sites. They're caused by leakage through wounds between our world and the astral plane. What's causing these wounds? Can we stop it? I'm not sure we can. At least I haven't found anything about it in my mother's text yet. She lays a flat hand on the countertop and leans forward. We don't want to dive into this haphazardly, Max. Remember, these omens can be dangerous. Dangerous how? She holds up a finger and starts digging around for another text. After a moment, she locates a small notepad and flips to a dog-eared page. In here, it says that these visions, or dreams, or whatever you want to call them, are real. They're open to interpretation, but interpreting them incorrectly can be disastrous. Astral space is a place of dream logic. Taking the things you see too literally can be even more dangerous than ignoring them. This sounds like the best outcome would be for us to interpret a dream correctly. Using the term loosely, yes, but there's no real correct way to interpret a dream, and it's difficult to separate the nonsense from the substance. Can you interpret the dreams? Crafty plunks the notepad on top of a nearby book tower. I can't help you interpret your dreams. Whatever they're trying to impart, it's beyond me. All I can do is keep reading. There has to be something in this library that can help us understand what's happening. Keep it up. Every bit helps. She stifles a yawn. Yep, I'm on it. The punchline for that joke, it sure feels like it. Yamagumo, you're saying he's a bit of a hide the pain herald? Bought yourself a Pikachu Squishmallow as a treat. I'm both a child who needs to be bribed into doing any work and an adult doing the bribing. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I hope the little guy helps, and I hope your move goes smoothly. And hopefully we can help you take your mind off some of the bad stuff. You are welcome here anytime. A dream is a wish your heart makes in the astral plane. Yeah, exactly. You're not trying to invest long term here. These aren't your retirements. If things make you happy in the short term, if you feel a need to be happy, you've got the money to spend and it makes you happy, then why the hell not? That's why they call it spending money. It's meant to be spent. Spend it on whatever makes you happy, you know? I like video games. I like board games. I like tabletop RPGs. That's what I buy. Do I play all of the games I buy? No. But I enjoy getting them. And the ones I get around to playing, I often enjoy. So, you know, it's how it be. Gamagumo, the tears just make my eyes shinier and my smile friendlier. That actually sounds like him. It really does. Ooh, alright, they have some new gear here. Oh my god. That armor 6 is really expensive. Jesus. Alright, so I do need to get my intelligence up. I was worried about that, but I think I saved some points. I probably need intelligence of 4, at least. Intelligence 3 would be real good, though. Spellcasting 8, damn it. So that's what I'm seeing I'm missing. I'm missing a little bit of spellcasting, and I could use intelligence 3 at a bare minimum. So let's see if I do have some points stockpiled, because I think I do. I think I do. Alright, so I didn't spend the points from the last run yet. Good. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We'll go to intelligence. Let's see, intelligence 3. There we go. And then we're going to go back to wisdom. Oh man, I don't even have anything to spend there. It's going to be real expensive to get to the next levels. So let me go ahead and grab Intelligence 4. And that should be good for now, hopefully. Alright. Head back to the store. And see what we can pick up now. God, those are so expensive. I don't even have enough to buy Chain Lightning. That's insane. So what do I have right now? So right now I've got Power Bolt for my attack. I've got Heal Wound, Mana Ball, Wild Aim, Acid Stream, Flamethrower, and Mana Bolt. That is a lot of spells. Alright, so I like those, so I might just want to think about upgrading. I can get a better Power Bolt, though. Ooh. Just getting a better Power Bolt would be really nice, but like that's like my one purchase if I do that. That's it. That's all my money. So that is tricky. Someone has been uploading Tool albums in the Super Mario 64 sound font. What? I'm going to need to check that out. That sounds insane. Yeah, there's going to be some analysis paralysis here. That's tough. That is tough. I've been using Flamethrower a lot. And yeah, Flamethrower 3 does 25 damage? That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. There isn't a better Heal Wounds. That's a little bit disappointing. Because, you know, I get wounded a lot. It's only got a 1-turn cooldown, too. That is insane. So I do kind of want that. Let me double check. So... oh, Flamethrower is the one I have, not Fireball. Flamethrower. Is that the same thing? Yeah, Flamethrower right there. Alright, cool. Yeah, let's get that as our nuke, I suppose. With only a 1-turn cooldown, we should be getting a lot of mileage out of that. We'll place that right there. And then we should be able to sell the old one. I don't think we'll get much for it. Yeah, 150. Ouch. That's something, though. Alright. And that is all we have. Here I was thinking I'm going to be able to save so much money because I don't use guns. I just need to buy spells. Turns out spells are very expensive. Oh, we haven't got paid yet, though. Oh, right. We haven't collected our pay. We have not collected our pay yet, so that'll actually be a little bit of cash. If we're getting paid at all, which we might not be. No guarantee. We've got 2 unread messages. Let's see. Wait, no, we don't want to read those yet. We want to go to the jobs directory. Claim payment for the Wampoa Garden Burgers. Oh, this is going to be bad. You submit the job as finished and await the response. A few moments later, a message pops onto the screen. From Kindly Cheng to Max, I asked you to solve a problem, and your method of solving it is to kill the people I was doing a favor for. I have half a mind to throw you in the goddamn bay. Still, the Wampoans are more afraid of me than ever, and money started flowing again, so I suppose that's something. I've attached your payment. The Wampoans made it explicitly clear that they wouldn't have paid us at all, except to ensure you never come back to the gardens. Next time, try not to fuck up the job so much I may not be as forgiving, kindly Cheng. Thank you, kindly. I appreciate that. I will try in the future to give performances that makes you not want to rip my teeth out. I deserve that. That's fair. Reasonable. Yeah, I mean, we're only a couple missions in, so yeah, even seeing a level 3 is kind of surprising right there. Being a flame-focused mage in many RPGs is tough because so many games like to give... Yeah, it's true. Fire resistance is everywhere. We have not introduced her to the new Hitman yet. I don't know how she's going to take that. Oh, we will see. Let's see. Let's go back. Check our new messages. Mail urgent task. From Kindly Cheng to Max subject urgent task. Let's see. Little birds have been whispering in my ear about an urgent and high-paying run. Steel Arm Lou, a red Pole, managed to get his hands on information concerning a prototype laser weapon in development by Ares Asia Holdings. For years, the Yellow Lotus and the Red Dragon have been locked in a cold war. Despite this, we remain evenly matched. Neither one of us can attack the other without being exposed to devastating reprisals. Lou wants to change this, and he has a plan. Rather than strike directly, Lou intends to aim external forces at the Red Dragon, specifically Knight Errant. He intends to frame a white paper fan named Golden Fong, making it appear that the Red Dragon have been bribing Ares researchers for classified information. 2 leading drone and energy weapons researchers have recently transferred from London to Hong Kong and are running the project. Doctors Taylor and Hardingham were respected in Europe, but in Hong Kong they remain unknown quantities. They're untrusted and therefore are considered untrustworthy. Perfect targets, in other words. We will provide data that will make it look as if the researchers were contacted by Golden Fong and made quite a bit of money but grew tired of the arrangement. Transfer the attached files to a data chip. The files are bundled with a worm which will auto-execute when inserted into the appropriate systems. You need not bring a decker, though one may be helpful. You will need to plant data in the visitor record system, the camera systems in Hardingham and Taylor's lab. Financial data is to be transferred to Dr. Taylor's personal terminal. That in itself will not be enough to ensure Knight Errant involvement, however. Planting the data is only the first part of your task. This is where a heavier touch will be required. You will also need to steal the prototype laser weapon. There is a GPS tracking device attached to it, which Lou will plant deep in Red Dragon territory. The apparent theft of a prototype weapon by a disgruntled Triad member should convince Ares to dispatch overwhelming force against the Red Dragon, dealing them a vicious blow. As a note, Lou does not care what becomes of the laser weapon. If you wish to sell it or keep it, feel free. I have also attached a map of your extraction route from the building. During the facility's expansion in 2052, Ares Asia was forced to extend their foundations deeper into the island. They drove piles through the former site of the central MTR station, which partially collapsed during the Dalu Bay earthquake of 2044. Practically, that means that you can exit through the basement directly onto the new MTR line through Central. With any luck, you'll be gone without anyone knowing how. Unfortunately, the route is heavily alarmed, and you will be forced to go in the front door. If you can con the front desk, you should have no problems. The facility is both an office and a residence, so strange people coming and going at odd hours is not unusual. If you're not up to fast talk, however, be prepared to shoot your way in. Lou does not care if you are loud or quiet, but a word of caution, he came by all this information via the loose lips of one of the research team. Other fixers know of this job. Move fast and you're guaranteed success, but there are definitely other Shadowrunners with the eye on your prize. I don't think that's the one that is time sensitive, though. I don't think so, so I'm going to hold off on that one if I can. That does sound incredibly dangerous, though. Holy shit. Yeah, the ones, anytime anybody says a Shadowrun is a milk run, that means you're possibly all going to die. Never fails. Alright, male restaurant job. From Kindly Cheng to Max subject restaurant jobs. One of the things I've learned over the years is that even the rich and powerful have annoyances. Thorns in their side, if you will. No one is without troubles, the rich just have different ways of solving them. The client for this run has grown tired of one particular thorn in his side. Cheng Sing Rooster Low. Low is a red pole for one of the smaller triads here in Hong Kong, the 289s, or the Easy Money Gang if you prefer. Despite the 289's small stature, Low's illegal activities have managed to damage the client's profits. Mr. Johnson would like you to help him show Low the error of his ways. Low takes an evening every few months to dine at the Shangri-La restaurant in Aberdeen. If you aren't aware, the Shangri-La is an elite establishment serving primarily corporate clientele from Wu Xing Incorporated. Because of this, it's not unusual for diners to bring bodyguards or assistants with them. In Low's case, he brings a particularly brutish enforcer known as the Talon, and undoubtedly feels well protected. Alright, take care of yourself, Roadbug. Thanks for hanging around. We will see you around. You are going to prove just how wrong he is in this regard. You are to kidnap Rooster Low. So long as he is alive and in relatively good health, all options are on the table. While keeping the run quiet would make things easier for Mr. Johnson, no one will shed too many tears over a few dead triad thugs. The client is arranged an exit via boat. As long as you can get Low from the interior to the restaurant's dock, the client will handle everything else. Despite being a red pole, Low is a tactician, not a fighter. Don't expect him to put up much of a fight. The Talon, on the other hand, is as nasty as they come. Be very careful about how you confront him, or things may go very badly. Ah, good, an elite restaurant that is fitting for the elite of Twitch. Very much so. Alright, let's see what's new in Shadowlands today. We got a payment for our pay data from last run. Data sold successfully, and we got 432 million. I'll take that. Do we have any more pay data to attach? We do not. Oh, we got a lot of stuff to read in here. Let us hope the Shangri-La has a fine selection of flavored tater tots. Or just dipping sauces. I'll accept that as well. We have not done the Isabel job yet. We're hopefully going to do that soon. Thread typhoon warning. This newscast just aired. If anyone wants to watch real-time isobar data or Earthsat images of the storm, the basic service paywall on Skywatcher imagery is easily circumvented. White Prism. The Imperial Japanese Meteorological Society today issued an advanced typhoon warning for the northern Philippines and the coast of the Guangdong Confederation, as Tropical Storm Usagi has grown into a full-strength typhoon Category 3 in the Pacific. Typhoon Usagi has formed late in the year for such a powerful storm. Meteorologists credit this growing trend of awakened cold season typhoons to global warming and powerful magical vortices in the East Pacific, which appears to help drive moist air convective over cooler ocean waters. The newscaster looks down her notes. According to the official release by Lance Inroki of the IGMA, Usagi is now identified as an awakened storm. We have observed strong lightning activity, electromagnetic anomalies, and extreme concentrations of awakened seabirds along its edges. Awakened storms exhibit anomalous physical and magical behavior. Many experts believe they show reactive intelligence and possibly even self-awareness and will resist making landfall to prolong their lives, even holding position against prevailing winds. Study of these storms is inhibited by their extreme environmental conditions and astral turbulence. In physical strength, Usagi may peak as a violent typhoon, Category 5 on the Eastern Pacific scale, but will weaken substantially before making landfall. Although Mariner lore is replete with tales of malicious storms, scientists have detected no provable animosity towards metahumans in the behavior of these miracles of nature. Learn more on Wild Storms of the Pacific, this week's episode of Savage Nature, with host Bertrand Bedonaker. The Guangdong coast will likely have a long precursor battering with drenching rains but moderate winds as Usagi stalls offshore. Usagi is one of the more powerful storms of the season, but is not unusual. Usagi does not have super typhoon potential. This is going to be perfect. A long, soft hit by Usagi, lots of electronic interference, security and cops all tied up. It's running season, Blood Meridian. Hope everyone's ready for a high operational tempo. Our fixer's already scrambling for crews. Speculous. I heart storms. Hatch. Hurricane Bun Bun, yeah, basically. I'm curious what the naming scheme they're using there is. Don't worry, Nab that cat, we all get there eventually. It took me a while as well. I'm like, where did they come up with that name? It sounds so futuristic. Oh, it's just New Yen. Come on, welcome to what could be very well the last Shadowland Poetry Slam, Matrix Bard. Why does he keep doing this? He's going to get banned. Yeah, the symbol for it is just the yen symbol. I don't know why they did that. Lazarus, welcome in. Actually, I do know why they did that, because this is a very old RPG, and back in the day, they probably had to worry about typesetting, and they probably couldn't just easily add a custom symbol to their books. So they had, it was just easier to use a symbol that would have been in the actual typeset they could use for printing. Probably. That's what I'm assuming anyway. How are you doing today, Lazarus? And Sky, welcome in. Sky, how are you doing today? There's something kind of sad about that. End of an era, Jivebert. In honor of Jivebert, I created an expert system that writes haikus. It takes whatever's being said in a thread and turns it into a poem. Mind if I fire it up? Snozbert. Snozzy, you shouldn't have, Jivebert. What kind of poetry slam includes bots? This is lame. Now you're mad. Homage to Jivebert. The program stirs, churns out text. 3 lines mar the piece. Jivebot. Jivebot! Ha! That's brilliant! Now I can hang up my quill, Jivebert. I don't really buy that a bot can produce poetry like a living, breathing, feeling human being. Sorry, Tennyson. This is bullshit! Now you're mad. He is mad. Despair grips the poets. A machine crafting haikus. The Jivebot breaks free! Jivebot. Snozbert. Was that supposed to happen? Matrix Bard. The slam is now slammed. The program has broken loose. Pandemonium, Jivebot. Well, look at the bright side. How much damage can a runaway poetry bot do anyway, Jivebert? You fucking people, Sysop. And that's the end of that. That poor Sysop. He's trying. He's trying. Running goes good, Lazarus. We haven't done any runs yet today because we're catching up around town, but, Jivebot's free now! Nobody's standing in his way. Someone come over and cook! I would if I could, Fallalls. But by the time I got to you, it would have starved to death, I suspect. Jivebot's free! Go forth, Jivebot. Live your life. Zonal, welcome in. How are you doing today? That was hilarious right there. There's a lot of good comedy on the BBS in here. Break time, excellent, excellent. Perchance to stream, welcome in. How are you doing today? The arcology, oh man. Excuse me, the hunt continues. A short clip of a Trid News broadcast begins playing. And despite their efforts, no one has yet to come forward. The government of Hanan has denied all connections to the terrorist fugitives, even going so far as to state that the White Star organization no longer exists. There has been no word from the HKPF on the whereabouts of the fugitive terrorists. That's who they're calling our team. They're claiming that we're terrorists. We're not. The mood on the streets is nervous. There is no telling when or where these terrorists will strike. For now, the Special Duties Unit of the HKPF remains on active alert, ready to respond at a moment's notice. This is Sunny Cheng with Horizon News, signing off. What a load of crap. How are they going to convince us a bunch of crazy terrorists got into the FEZ and then disappeared under their noses, huh? That'd never happen if Lone Star was the sole police force here. Kobatar. Sure, because heavily armed terrorists never sneak into Lone Star cities like Chicago and Seattle, only to disappear and remain free to roam the streets after they engage in public gun battles. Heaven shot. There's no way Hanan is connected to these people. If they really were White Star, they'd have struck already. Their entire modus operandi is suicide bombings and civilian casualties. These people are hiding. They're probably on the wrong side of a setup. Liu 2.0. Sure, because everybody in the shadows is just some bleeding heart fighting the megas because they believe in freedom. Grow the hell up, Dongxiang. At least some people are starting to turn on the narrative there, at least. That's a good thing. Rooks, I recognize that in a monologue. Suffice to say, Shadowrunners have seen a rogue AI now and again, every once in a while. It's basically a rite of passage, creating a program so clever it turns on you. LF Taylor for special job. Searching for a tailor for some unusual custom work. Ratstar123. I might know a guy. Is this for armor? Scorpion. Not exactly. It's a surprise birthday gift for a friend. A friend's drone, actually. Ratstar123. What exactly do you want a tailor to make for a drone? Scorpion. A cat costume with soft little ears and paws. Ratstar. Or, better yet, a bear suit. Ratstar. Ooh, or red samurai outfit. I even have references that I can provide. Ratstar. Okay, you got a fat stack of Nuyen? This is gonna cost. Scorpion. I'll find the Nuyen. Can you help me? This will be so worth it. Ratstar. Yeah, I'll hook you up. Scorpion. I hope we get a follow-up to that, because I want to know where that's going. Warded Animal, thank you for a gift sub to JiveBot. Oh god. You have drawn the attention of the bot to us. We may not survive what's coming. Or if nothing else, probably going to get a lot of haiku in chat in all caps. Warden, thank you so much for that. Gift sub number 36 to the channel. Thank you for the generosity. I appreciate the hell out of that. Follows, I go to work Saturday at 4 p.m. I get off work Sunday at 4 p.m. Oh, God. Follows, is that even legal? I know it wouldn't be legal in Illinois, but I don't know how things go in Nevada. He wants to make an eco-drone. I want to know what kind of drone, though. Is it like a hover drone? The drone hovering around with cat ears does sound kind of cute, I gotta admit. Oh god, is Gobbet trying to put Koshi in? That would be adorable, and I endorse this. Thread, can't get a flight to Seattle. Hey, I've got a problem I'm hoping one of you can help with. I came out to the FEZ 2 weeks ago for work. Now that the job is wrapped, I've been trying to get under the table flight to Seattle for the past week. Off the books, no passport control, that kind of thing. Nobody's making the trip, what gives? Hangfire. Warded Animal, gift sub number 36. JiveBot gets a month. It's already started! Check the news feeds, man. Haven't you heard? Seattle's on lockdown. Nothing's coming into or out of the city without a thorough search for at least another week. They caught some smugglers trying to move some really nasty stuff through a covert landing at Discovery Park. D-Ray. That seems like a bit of an overreaction. Tons of awful stuff moves through Seattle every day. What's so different about this time? Hangfire. Not this. You didn't hear it from me, but I have some friends with ice. They say whatever it was, it set off the radiological alarms of the Coast Guard ship that was sweeping the area. We're talking fissionable material here, enriched and ready to go on a bomb. Underwatch. No way, I don't buy that for a second. More likely, some corp had an accident with one of their ships and dumped some radiological material. They just don't want to admit it, so City Hall's covering their asses. Phaedra. Don't dismiss this news so lightly. The smugglers were carrying cargo for Winter Night. It's only pure luck the cargo was intercepted at all. Adariel. What the hell is Winter Night? Sounds like a goblin rock band. D-Ray. Not who, what. All you need to know is this. Winter Night is bad news. You cross them, they destroy your life. You ever run into any of them on a job? I suggest a solution that comes in 7.62 millimeter. Adariel. Technically isn't, but they're paying me an irrational amount of money, and it'll be split between 2 different pay periods. All right, so that is kind of nice. I have definitely done some things that are not entirely legal on my job as far as hours because they paid me very well. So I respect this. Alive with the jive, our verse is unstoppable. Tremble, meet check chat. Oh god, here it comes. Irrational amount of money is good. I'll do some things for that. Look, if you start criticizing Shadowrun names, you got a long list to start with. Yeah, that's gonna take some time. Thread, new Pinoy in HK. Hi there, just arrived in HK from CFS and want to meet other runners from the Philippines. Salamat Po, Quezon City Blues. Anyone? Quezon City Blues. I make really good pancit. Quezon City Blues. Well, why didn't you say so right away? Kumasta Po Kayu. Lots of former Hook families here. Peaches. Welcome, Princess Reyes. Hi, Taga Sanka? Me from Manila. I'm a Decker. You? Talaga. QC here. I'm a Decker too. Quezon City Blues. Hansen is fine, good, but can you also make Dingwon? PM me if you can. Mokti Mike. Kumasta, Tita Darling. Nice to meet you, Q City Blues, Sammy Boy. Hi there, Street Mage here. Might know some Pinoy runners looking for a new decker. Happy days. Welcome, welcome. Happy days. Oh. Oh, he found friends. That's awesome. Good food makes for good friends. Truer words were never spoken, Emperor. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Like everything we have to do with the computer there. That was wholesome. That was cute. I was not expecting the cute, but I appreciate it. Alright, let's head downstairs. Hey, Ractor. The air in Ractor's shop is ripe with the stench of old metalworking fluids. He turns to face you, a burning cigarette clenched between his teeth. Sorry about the smell. It's long past time to purge the coolant sump. He frowns. If I had access to the proper equipment, this would not be a problem. I could clean the fluid and reuse it. But alas, halogen treatment chambers are rather hard to come by, even in a place like Haoi. He shakes his head as if to clear it. Anyway, my friend, you didn't come here to discuss the ins and outs of shop maintenance, I'm sure. So what does bring you here? I've been thinking about what we talked about last time. Mind if I ask you any questions? He tilts his head to acquiescence. Be my guest. I have no secrets to keep. About the drone self-repair system that you invented. How did it work? There were 3 distinct elements to my approach. When these elements were all working in concert, prototypes that utilized the process displayed remarkable self-repair capabilities. This may be a lengthy explanation. I can skim over it if you please, or I can break it down if you're genuinely interested. Give me the long version. I want to know how this process of yours works. He shifts his cigarette to the corner of his mouth. Very well, the long version it is. The first element of my process was an outer skin that the drone could be wrapped in, a refinement of older biomimetic self-healing materials, modeled to emulate the self-repair capabilities of living beings. Imagine a polymer composite interlaced with microtubules, capillaries if you will. These vessels are capable of delivering a bonding agent to the site of a wound as it occurs, thus healing it. Interesting, go on. The second element involves the underlying structure of the drone's architecture. The servos, gears, circuits, etc. Utilizing self-assembling materials and redundant systems, I created a system by which damaged components could be fabricated and replaced by the drone itself, without any need for human interference. Alright, so you have a self-healing skin and a self-replacing underlying structure. What was the third part? Finally, the system had a magical component. The corner of his mouth dips downward. I must confess a certain degree of ignorance when it comes to the portion of the project. I understand some of the theory behind what was done, but the specifics are beyond me. Tell me what you do know, then. In layman's terms, a magical element was necessary to render the system self-perpetuating. Obviously, no purely mechanical system can repair itself indefinitely. The synthetic skin becomes more brittle with every wound it heals, and the automated assembly components will eventually run out of materials to work with. As a rule, fighting against entropy is a losing proposition. But with magic, we can rewrite the rules, weaken the grasp of those entropic forces to the point that they are rendered negligible. Think of magic as the lubrication that keeps the gears turning. I wish that it weren't necessary, but I'm also a realist, and I must confess that it is required for the system to work. And this package of systems is what your former colleagues stole from you. What you need to get back? Yes. Given enough time and resources, I might be able to recreate the first 2 components of the system on my own. But the magical component is, and will forever be, completely beyond me. That is why it's so important that we recover my research and the prototype that was stolen. And we will recover them. Of that I have no doubt. What do you think that a post-human future would mean? Freedom. He takes a long drag on a cigarette, sucking the smoke deep into his lungs. When he speaks, it erupts from his mouth in a plume. The ultimate freedom to direct our own progress, and to steer ourselves as a people in whatever direction we wish. Consider, my friend, every aspect of Koshio is tailor-made for a purpose, dreamed up, designed, and built by a singular guiding intellect. Alright, keep going. Now, think of the circumstances surrounding your own birth, and the building blocks that shaped you into the man you are today. Your mother and father exchanged fluids, sloppily, no doubt, and with all the mindless abandon that such biological imperatives entail. That might have been the ugliest description of sex I've ever heard. Ugly, perhaps, but accurate. Sexual intercourse is an inarticulate process, a messy delivery mechanism for genetic material, spurred on by hormones and base urges. Any attempts to guide the process on a societal level gets branded eugenics and are cried as monstrous for obvious reasons. But I digress. The point I was making was that the forces that shaped you, and me, and anyone else we care to mention, were ultimately mindless ones. Blind, manipulative biological drives led a sperm and egg to collide. Add in the roll of dice and a dash of Mendelian genetics, and here you are. The natural processes of evolution and sexual selection guide the development of our species through trial and error. Throw a few billion darts at the wall and see what sticks. In the future that I foresee, this process will be reined in, guided by our own controlling intellects. To call up an antiquated phrase, the myth of intelligent design will become a reality, but we will be our own gods, reshaping ourselves as we see fit. Tell me again, what does this have to do with posthumanism? Step back for a moment and imagine a future in which we have fully integrated with machines. Really imagine it. There will be no niche that we cannot fill. We can guide our own evolution, tailor ourselves to whatever environment we see fit. We will no longer be slaves to the selective processes that have dictated our development since time immemorial. Let's say that you're right. At which point do we cease to become human and become something else? He shrugs. Whenever we choose to define ourselves in that way, humanity is an intrinsically human concept. If we decide to rebrand ourselves as a different species, that is our decision to make. I strongly suspect that nobody else would care. So tell me, what do you want? What's the endgame that you've envisioned for us in this grand post-human future? Koschei raises itself up on his legs, stretching so that Ractor can caress its chassis. The motion is alarmingly fluid, more like a living thing than a machine. Ractor traces his fingertips over the drone's shell, his eyes focused on an imaginary point on the horizon. We have placed such unnecessary limitations on ourselves, my friends. It fills my heart with sorrow to know what we could be, but are not. I would see those limits stripped away, peeled back and discarded for the betterment of all. In the future that I foresee, we will open our eyes to the possibilities that surround us. Bodies reshaped to thrive in the deep ocean or in the depths of space. Bodies inspired by nature or the human imagination, or both. Bodies that can be used and shed and used again, inhabited as the wearers see fit. The timely realization of such a failure is what drives me forward. It is the cause to which I have devoted my life, and thankfully it is inevitable. He tips his cigarette, sending ash spilling down on the metal floor. Assuming, of course, that we don't destroy ourselves first. There's a hard limit to the fusion of man and machine. Doesn't your vision of the future require us to get past that? You're speaking of the essence limit and the problems associated with essence loss. He released a plume of smoke from the corner of his mouth. Yes, of course it'll be a problem. But as with all problems, a workaround will present itself. Of this I am certain. Are you basing that on anything, or are you just taking it on faith? He smirks at you. No, my friend, I am not taking it on faith. My beliefs are rooted in my own observations and experiences. For the time being, let us leave the matter at that. So in this post-human future you're trying to bring about, what role would a drone like Koschei play? Similar one to the role he plays now, I imagine. He was designed for a purpose, after all. That said, I can see the techniques that went into his design and fabrication having much broader ranging applications. You're pretty attached to that drone of yours, aren't you? You've even assigned him a gender. You keep calling it him. Yes, of course. Koschei is very close to me. As if on cue, the drone scuttles forward, the hardened tips of its claws screeching across the metal floor of the shop. It comes up short just in front of you, a strange mechanical chitter rising from deep within its chassis. You might accuse me of anthropomorphizing my little companion, assigning human characteristics to him when, in fact, there are none. Truth be told, there is much more to Koschei than meets the eye. But that is a different conversation, one best suited to be held another time. If that's what you want. He nods. It is. I have work to do, and I'm sure that you can find better uses for your time than listening to me prattle on. He gestures towards the hatch in the ceiling. And with that, I'm afraid that I must ask you to show yourself out. We can continue our talk at a later time. Alright, Ractor, we'll talk later. Good night. Well, that was fascinating. Holy shit. That was really fascinating. There's a little bit of music, but it's very quiet. It's true it could use a little bit more ambience. I agree. Ractor is like the anti-G trick. He is. It's a good way. Oh, no worries, Warden. No worries. Sloppy exchange of fluids. Oh, God. Is he a Transformer? There's something else going on with him that I'd like to know about that. Oh, God, as technology. Oh, those are bad dudes. Those are bad dudes. Oh, hey. Gaichu. What's he doing in here? The storage room that functions as Gaichu's cabin is a cramped, overheated mess. Piles of old ship parts share space with tarnished cookware, flats of instant noodles, a collection of cast-off clothes, and reams of diagnostic manuals for obsolete computer hardware. To top it all off, there's barely any light whatsoever. All of the bulbs in this room are missing. Gaichu is busily moving boxes around, apparently in an effort to carve out some personal space amid the junk that he shares the cabin with. As you enter, he cocks his head and turns about. Welcome to my sanctuary, Max. I apologize for the lack of light, but as I did not need it, Gobbet took the bulbs for use elsewhere. Gaichu puts down the box and he's in the process of moving, and politely bows his head towards you. How can I be of assistance? I just wanted to see how you're settling in. Gaichu rolls his shoulders in a diffident shrug. I live. I am among those who can make use of my services and who are not attempting to claim the bounty on my head. Is that not enough for now? Any thoughts on that last run? I'm assuming you have some. Gaichu shrugs, blinking a few times in surprise. What do you expect me to say? You have allowed me to live, invited me into your home, or boat if you prefer, and have given me a means to earn an income and use my particular set of talents. I am pleased with this. In addition, you allowed me to extract vengeance on those who had wronged me. Me, that says that you understand the nature of reputation and fear in the shadows. I look forward to working with you. I need to talk to you about your condition, the whole, ghoul thing. Gaichu inclines his head. As you wish. You are my benefactor, and as such I yield to you. Ask then, I will do my best to answer. Aside from being blind, how has it affected you? Aside from my heightened sense of smell and hearing, I am stronger, tougher, and more resilient than any mundane human. I can achieve feats of physicality that are normally restricted to adepts, and those with extensive enhancements. Gaichu lifts one hand, fingers crooked to show off his elongated nails, claws really. These as well, as sharp as any small knife. I prefer my sword, but in grapple they come in extremely handy. He draws one nail over the surface of his shoulder plates. A hair-fine spiral of armor peels off where the nails wakes. Do you still need to sleep? Gaichu chuckles, his laughter rasping out over his lips. Unfortunately, I do. I am not an undead creature of legend. If I manage to unlock the secret of rest without sleep, I will certainly inform you. I thought ghouls were all animalistic predators. Most are. In the vast majority of cases, the infected become the crazed predator everyone sees in the nightly Trid news. Gaichu bares his jagged teeth, running his tongue along the tips of them as he tilts his head back. I bear the physical signs, but not the mental ones. A few escape that fate. There are others, though. In Africa, there is a nation of ghouls. It is called Asamando. The intelligent ghouls of Asamando care for the ones whose higher faculties have been ravaged by the disease. Still, it is not a safe place to visit. What makes you different? I am willful. Those with a strong sense of self, a chip on their shoulder, if you will, are always those that survive the infection with their minds intact. I suppose I am selfish enough to have retained a passable semblance of my former humanity. It seems like your condition's stabilized. For now, it has. I will not suddenly become a ravenous beast lurking in the hold of your ship. At least no more so than I already am. Gaichu bares his teeth in a wry grin, dipping his head a little bit. Why did you pick the name Gaichu, anyway? It was given to me. This is what the Japanese call ghouls for the most part. I am vermin, a thing shunned by polite society, to be hunted and slain for bounty. My old life is gone. It seems as apt named for the streets as any other I could choose. I like that attitude. Turns the tables of power. Gaichu dips his head in agreement. One does not defeat the enemy solely by strength of arms. One must turn one's own weaknesses into strengths. It is an old and valuable lesson, too oft forgotten. Your armor is heavier than what most Shadowrunners wear, and more distinctive, too. Gaichu nods, growling in his assent. That is correct. It is the armor worn by the elite soldiers of the Renraku corporate military, the Red Samurai. What are the Red Samurai? The Renraku Military Special Operations Division. As with most elite that the corporation has to offer, on par with the Ares Firewatch or Tyr Taner's Ghosts. Red Samurai are world-class soldiers, assigned to only the most difficult and important missions. That armor's a rare thing for a Shadowrunner to have. It is true. It is considerably less rare for a Red Samurai to have a suit of course, even if he goes rogue. Wait, are you telling me you were a Red Samurai? Indeed. For the entirety of my adult life, I was a member of the Renraku military, specifically the Red Samurai. That changed relatively recently. I feel the reasons are abundantly clear. Hence, I still possess my armor, my sword, my training. They have served me well in both my previous life and in this one. How'd you end up running the shadows? Gaichu rasps out a coughing laugh that reverberates throughout the cramped room. What other employment is appropriate for a cannibal whose only previous experience is in military operations? There are not many things I know how to do. This is one of them. You weren't always a ghoul, though. In theory, Red Samurai who were wounded are given the best in medical treatment and cybernetics. If these are insufficient to return them to active duty, they are given a pension and retired. In practice, this is never the case. Red Samurai teams do everything together. Eat, sleep, train, play. We learn to think for each other, move as a single entity. When part of that team is broken, it affects everyone. Gaichu runs his claws over his scalp, sighing. The other members of the unit would be distracted, thinking about a wounded comrade, and resent a new member for usurping the old member's place. So the wounded inevitably take the same course of action for the good of the team. Ritual suicide. Seppuku. That's completely insane. Gaichu chuckles softly, shaking his head. I believe that it is effective in most cases, but I also believe I am worth more alive than dead. In my case, I became infected while on a sabotage mission in Shawase in Osaka. The unit was exfiltrating on foot from Nanaiwa Ward to the Irin Chuki slums. We had not anticipated a ghoul nest on our route. My surprise got the better of me, and I was bitten. I understand that since the passage of the Yamato Act, Japan is a pure country. Metahumans are deported, and to be infected with HMHVV is to be less than an animal. You will be killed on sight. Since this was, in effect, the same as being permanently crippled in the eyes of my team, it was expected that I would kill myself. That sounds awfully fascist. Gaichu bares his teeth with a vicious grin. When I was younger, I would have argued that you simply did not understand what it means to be Japanese. I think now, however, that you are correct. The Yamato Act is a convenient way to encourage nationalistic fervor, while avoiding the racial problems of other nations by simply removing non-humans. Because I was still capable of fighting, I questioned the necessity of suicide. Why should I die if I was still as effective as before? Was I not worth having, simply because my diet changed? One does not discard a quality tool simply because the surface is stained. I made the decision to leave while the unit was allowing me time to prepare for my expected suicide. I took nothing but my weapons, armor, and a small number of personal mementos. I knew that the unit would hunt me down and kill me. Ghouls are considered vermin in Japan. To have a Red Samurai become one and refuse to die? Unconscionable. How long did it take them to find you? They found me 2 weeks after I ran. I was careless as I fled south, and they caught up with me in Fukuoka, but I escaped barely. It was at that point I decided I should leave Japan. I knew they would not stop hunting me, but I could make it difficult for them. So how'd you end up in Hong Kong? I was searching for a cure. I needed a place where I could disappear into the shadows, find work, and evade capture if a cure did not materialize. The Yamato Act meant that it was even more dangerous to be in Japan than anywhere else. Gaichu smiles thinly, leaning back on his heels. I went to China, primarily because I still hoped to be able to return home. It felt less final if I fled to somewhere nearby. I first went to Shanghai, but Renraku's presence there is significantly more robust than in Hong Kong. I learned that my previous unit had not stopped hunting me after I left Japan, so I decided to move farther afield. Gaichu unfurls his hands, claws pointing towards the ceiling. Hence, Hong Kong. Where else can anyone arrive and disappear without the city carrying one whit? Seattle comes to mind. If Renraku were not building that towering arcology to dominate the skyline, I would agree with you. Since it clearly has that kind of influence in the city, it seems unwise to make my residence there. Gaishu runs his nails over his chin. Besides, I've always liked Hong Kong. It has more character than the UCAS. Since arriving here, I've drifted between neighborhoods, selling my services to those who are unafraid of my appearance and condition. Gaichu frowns deeply. It has not been as profitable as I'd hoped. So, did you grow up in a corporation? Yes, in Keihanshin, the Kyoto Kobe sprawl. It is less populated than Neo-Tokyo, but not by much. I grew up in East Kobe, where my father was posted in a Renraku complex. Gaishu roots around a nearby box, running his fingertips over several chips, before deciding on one. He slots it into his PDA, and a Trid photo flickers to life in the space between you. A young man, obviously Gaichu, leans against a railing which overlooks a sprawling harbor complex of skyscrapers and cranes. His school uniform is ripped, and the beginnings of a black eye are forming. Abrasions cover his knuckles, and blood dots his pants. Despite this, he's grinning like he just won the lottery. Vibrant. Fierce. You look like you haven't changed much. How do you mean? I am unable to see what picture is being displayed. You look like you got in a fight. Ah, this must be on Mount Maya. If I remember right, I gave better than I got in that fight. 3 against 1, but they were out of shape and cocky. They used to cause a lot of trouble when I was in school. My father was constantly raging that I had no sense of responsibility, and that I needed to take life more seriously. A cackle erupts from Gaichu, sudden mirth spreading across his face. The final straw was when he bailed me out of jail. Yeah, that would have tried Raymond's patience too. This is the curse of fathers everywhere, to have their children give them ulcers, especially true for high-strung authoritarian ones like Yasujiro. My friends and I stole a delivery van, had a shipment of Shiwase Simpsons decks, brand new, very expensive. We were going to fence them and use the money to take a trip to Okinawa. Gaichu pauses, cocking his head. Are you familiar with what it's like to grow up in a corporate family? Not a clue, sorry. You have to understand. Children are trained to hate rival corporations. We did not regard a theft of Shiwase goods as illegal. We were simply doing our part to ensure Renraku's supremacy. This kind of behavior is ignored and even tacitly encouraged by corporate company media. Unfortunately, we were caught by Shiwase security, not Renraku. What did your father do next? Gaichu clicks his tongue a few times. He seems reluctant to continue. That is a story for another time, unfortunately. I still have a lot of arranging to do, and I doubt anyone else will be willing to be alone with me in a darkened room. Come back later. We can discuss it further. Alright, if that's what you want. Gaichu bows politely. It is. And thank you again for your hospitality. Alright, that was interesting as well. Is this zombie Dave Bautista? That would be a good casting choice if there was a movie. Relentlessly, I was wondering whether his name is supposed to be in reference to the word kaiju. Looks like you were right. Oh, alright, what? You mentioned vermin. What is the literal translation of Gaichu? Is it kaiju? Technically, that does make him a stranger in Hong Kong. This is true. This is true. Whew, I did a number on my vocal cords, too. Alright, give me just a moment. I need to blow my nose again. I apologize. Whew, sorry about that. Voice acting really gets junk moving around. Oh, we can take a peek at his box of mementos. Gaichu's box of personal effects is overflowing with a collection of souvenirs, mementos, and knickknacks. There's no rhyme or reason to the collection of items. They appear to have been thrown in haphazardly. Lying atop the box are a collection of antique Japanese coins inside an overturned wooden mask, and a brick lacquered box with gold inlay. Black lacquered box, sorry. Gaichu cocks his head, sniffing the air in your direction. Ah, I see you have found my box of personal effects. Please, feel free to examine whatever you like within it. Just take care to put them back when you are done. I do not own much, but the things I keep are very precious to me. They are all that remains of my former life. Alright, let's take a look at the wooden mask. The wooden mask is extremely light. It's been painted a pale white, and the surface is almost as smooth as porcelain, although it lacks the sheen of lacquer. The face's traits are delicate, almost feminine, and feature lifted eyebrows, bright red lips, and delicately carved teeth. The teeth have been stained a deep black, barely visible past the slightly parted lips. The expression, while kindly, is ambiguous and uncanny. Viewed from above, the expression is one of calm contentment. Shifting the mask to view it at an upward angle causes the expression to seem melancholy, almost pained. Hey, Gaichu, what's this wooden mask? It is a mask from the historical No play Ikuta Atsumori. The face is that of a young samurai, Taira no Atsumoni. Gaichu faces your direction, gesturing towards the mask. I had a collection of a dozen or so No masks when I was younger. This is the last remaining one, and my personal favorite. What's the difference between a normal play and No? No actors wear those masks to cover their faces. The angle they hold themselves at changes the expression of the mask, so the acting is highly rigid and controlled. The entire performance is highly ritualized. There is no measure of improvisation allowed, only refinement of the prescribed form. Gaichu folds his arms over his chest, dipping his chin in thought. The words are sung, like in Western opera, and accompanied by a set of musicians known as Hayashi. The Hayashi keeps time with several drums, a flute, and a chorus. Chorus in the Greek theater sense, I mean. Unfortunately, No is an unpopular art in modern times. I expect this is because all the plays are conducted in classical Japanese, which is not comprehensible to the general public. I have heard that the creators of No, father and son in the 14th century, took inspiration from magical rituals at Shinto shrines. It is said that by placing masks upon their face, the actors become possessed by the spirit of the character they play. There are worse fates, I think, than to embody the spirit of a tragic warrior like Atsumori. Alright, so what's the play's about? A young man travels with a priest who raised him to Ikuta Shrine to commune with the spirit of his father, Taira no Atsumori. The young man's father died at the Battle of Ichi-no-Tani when the son was only a baby, and he wishes to know who his father was. The pair stay the night in a small hut. In the night, the hermit in the hut explains that he is the ghost of Atsumori. Atsumori has been granted a brief reprieve in his time in the afterlife to meet his son. During the night, they speak of the battle in which Atsumori was killed, the history of the Taira family, and their philosophy. Atsumori fades into darkness as he finishes the tale of the Taira's downfall, just as the family itself faded into obscurity. So think we, yet oh that we might change this fragile dream of joy into the lasting love of waking life, says Atsumori before fading. It is a tale of sorrow, love, and the burden of war upon the dead and living alike. The price one pays for war is not always in one's own blood, but in the shattering of one's own family. Alright, so why is it your favorite? Gaichu smiles, expression distant. A measure of civic pride, I suppose. And I like the story. Taira no Atsumori died at the Battle of Ichi-no-Tani, just outside Kobe. The play takes place primarily at Ikuta Shrine, which is located in downtown Kobe. In old cities in Japan, especially in Keihanshin, I have always felt there is a sense of history whenever one looks. The skyline may have skyscrapers and delivery drones, but the foundations are laid on the bones of the dead. Gaichu shrugs, holding his arms across his chest. I think it is important to remember their sacrifices and joys, sorrows and glories. Gaichu laughs, suddenly shaking his head. This is why I sometimes worry that I'm a sentimentalist at heart. Interesting. Kellerman, welcome in. How are you doing today, Kellerman? Hope you're having a great week so far. The kanji for kaiju, where the second character means animal, beast, or brute, and the first character means strange or mysterious. Thank you for that, Relentlessly. I was never 100% sure what kaiju meant, since, you know, the first thing I think is Godzilla, of course, because I'm that kind of nerd. So I appreciate the context there. Much appreciated. Alright, let's check out the lacquered box then, see what that is. The box is a deep, glossy black cube. The edges and corners are rounded rather than sharp, and the gold flake inlay across the surface glitters even in the dim lighting of the room. Sliding the top off, the interior contents are revealed. A calligraphy set, complete with inkstone and block, brushes, and paper. Gaichu wrinkles his nose, his expression one of distaste. Ugh, that thing. It's a beautiful set, but it is a shame that I am unable to make use of it. Because you're blind? Gaichu snorts derisively, stifling laughter. No, my handwriting has always been absolutely terrible. Whatever fanciful stories you may have heard of being able to tell a swordsman's ability by his handwriting, I assure you that they are wrong. The set was a gift from a professor of Japanese literature. He appreciated my interest in the classics, the tale of Heike, the tale of Genji, the collection of 10,000 Leaves, etc. I think he wished to encourage me to cultivate non-martial interests. Gaichu smiles crookedly and shrugs. I appreciated the gesture, but my attempts at fine calligraphy mostly resembled excited chickens prancing over paper, their feet soaked in ink. That's fair. Calligraphy's tough. My handwriting is disgusting. And Gaijin means either foreigner or simply strange person or outsider, so his name could potentially be a combination of those two words. Which, would be clever either way. Either way, I like those. And if it's both, I like that too. Kellerman, doing good. Been a long week, so glad to relax on the weekend. Well, I hope you have a very relaxing weekend. Feel recharged at the end of it. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Ember, interesting. Based around fighting kaiju in teams. Well, that sounds cool as hell. Is it something recent? I haven't heard of that one. Kellerman, I recently watched another streamer play this and loved it, so it's cool to see other people playing it. Oh man, I've played the other two Shadowrun games made by Hairbrain, and I really loved them. So it is exciting to get to try this one. So far, I'm having a great time with it, too. Sweet, no, didn't want to leave. All right, let's head this way. We're going to hold off on talking to Duncan for the moment. Why? Because I want to give my voice a little bit of a rest. So let's talk to Gobbit next. That should be an easy voice. Gobbit looks up from her hot plate at the sound of your approach. A smile creases her face. She raises her eyebrows and gestures at the cabin around you. The Kraken has really been shaping up over the past few days. With all the work we've been putting into her, she's starting to feel like a real home. Anyways, enough about the boat. She puts her hands on her hips, sending madness scurrying. Ready for your next lesson? Or do you just want to chat? I'm ready for my next lesson. Yeah? She smiles. That's good. I was hoping you want to keep going with this. It's good for you, and I'm kind of enjoying it too. Gobbit runs a hand through the knotted ropes of her hair, a contemplative look on her face. A moment later, she turns her attention back to you. Alright, this is going to be another long story, so I'm thinking we should take it in chunks. If you got any questions, you can ask them along the way, and if you need to take a break, we can come back to it. Sounds good? Ooh, alright, we're in for it here. In the development right now. Ooh, I'll have to look into that one, Nano. That sounds like something I enjoy. Yeah, sure, Gobbit, that sounds good. Good. So, last time I told you about the event that brought an end to my illustrious career as a subcontractor. This time, I'm going to tell you about a run that went on with my regular team. Was this where you started running with Isabel? No, this is long before Iz hit the streets as a runner. We were friends and everything, but she was still learning to deck back then. She was good for her age, but she wasn't ready for prime time. You don't know anyone in the group I'm talking about. They're all gone now, anyway. Sorry. Thanks, but it's alright. When you run the shadows, losing people is an occupational hazard. She offers you a lopsided smile. As Shadowrunners, we're disposable assets. Shouldn't come as a surprise when we get used up and tossed away. It was the same way in the Barrens. Here today, gone tomorrow. Yeah, you know how it is. People die, and it's sad, but there's no sense in moping about it. How did you meet this group of yours? They're mutual friends. We actually all lived together before we decided to start running as a team. There was this floating squatters commune out in Hung Hom Bay. Probably still out there, actually. I haven't been back in a long time. But I spent a few years living with them thing, and the rest of the team lived there with me. Squatters commune? She nods. Yep, we called it the sinking ship. It was an enormous raft all bolted together from old shipping containers. It wasn't the most comfortable place I've ever lived, but the price was right and the company was good. Alright, tell me about the team you were running with then. Sure. She extends a hand so she can count off teammates on her fingers. Madness scurries down her sleeve and perches on her forearm. Our muscle was a Hawaiian Jew with poor impulse control. Big round guy with lumberjack arms and ringlets in his hair. He called himself Hanu. I guess that he loved turtles? I don't know, street names are weird. We had a tech specialist, Egret. She was tall, gawky, dyed her hair bone white. She had a drone named Arlo that followed her around like a lost puppy. She was kind of a jack of all trades, but she could get the job done. Fun at parties, too. Our de facto team leader was a guy named Sui. He was a wiry troll, if you can imagine that. Probably about 2% body fat, all skin and bones. He walked with a hunch to make himself look smaller. He was a shaman, followed rat like me. Can't be too many troll rat shamans out there. Not that I've met, but Sui seemed like a really good guy. We got along fine. I actually really liked everyone on the team. They were a lot of fun to run with. Tell me more about the sinking ship. Let's hold off on that for a little bit, okay? I like to get through the rest of the story before we spend any more time on the raft. After your lesson's over, I'll tell you whatever you want to know about the commune, but for now, I'd rather not get sidetracked. Alright, I think that I got a grasp on the team dynamic. Let's keep going. Hey, regular alien, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. She nods. Alright, moving on. So, one day, Sui brought us a job. He met a client in a Victoria Harbor bar, rich Eastern Tiger exec. Guy wanted us to steal something for him, a shiny object. She raised her hands. I know, it's stupid, right? But that was how the Johnson described it to us. The shiny object. That was what he wanted us to get. He never gave it any other name. Seriously? A rat shaman hired to steal a shiny object? Yeah, you can see how the gig would be hard for us to resist. Anyway, the client told us what to look out for. He described it as a chunk of red jade about the size and shape of an ostrich egg, with a mirror-polished surface and gold wire inlays. He said that it'd have paper charms hanging off it. Food talismans, Taoist sorcery stuff. We weren't supposed to touch those. The client also told us about the shiny object's then owner, an old hedge wizard turned entrepreneur named Kong Zuyan. What's a hedge wizard? She nods. He had the wise old sage thing going on. He had the robe with the little hat, the kind smile. Oh, and the piece de resistance, a long wispy beard. He was mean as a snake, though, had a rep to prove it. Intel said that the old man Zuyan was keeping the shiny object in one of his warehouses. He had a bunch of them. He'd built himself a nice little empire selling magical paraphernalia through puppet vendors in the Yao Ma Te night market. Supposedly a good fifth of the stalls in that place were on Zuyan's payroll. Now, what kinds of magical paraphernalia are we talking about? He begins counting off examples on her fingers. Pickled reagents and mason jars, hermetic scrolls and charms, relics looted from Buddhist temples, crates of old Balinese Rangda masks, and fist-sized stones from a great dragon's kidney. Zuyan sold it all. How he got his hands on it all in the first place is anybody's guess. Well, that stuff sounds valuable. Yeah, I'm sure some of it was. Most of it was crap, though. Fakes and forgeries to sell to gullible tourists. Sifting the good stuff from the bad would have taken time, and we weren't planning on sticking around long enough to do that. Fair enough. So, we cased the warehouse for a couple of nights before the run. You know, did some recon, took some notes. From what we'd seen, we were pretty sure that Zuyan was keeping our payday in a vault area at the very back of the building. Security was pretty heavy, though. He was paying a local triad for protection, and he kept a lot of their boys on staff. Sui was the one who came up with a plan. We'd split up outside and enter the warehouse in two teams. Team A would create a diversion. Team B would hit the vault while security was looking the other way. We'd grab our payday, regroup, and get the hell out of there. Dragon kidney stones? I mean, the money is there, I suspect. Some SMT fans in here, I see. Respect. And some guy in a hat. How are you doing? Alright, so that seems straightforward enough. How did it work? Surprisingly well. Up to a point. Team A, Hano and Egret, circled around to the loading dock just like we'd planned. Sui and I waited at the service entrance. We didn't have to wait long. A couple of minutes in, we heard another ungodly crash. Then another, and another. As it turns out, Egret had rigged into Zuyan's network of automated forklifts. She had 6 of them running amok in the loading dock, chasing down workers and crashing themselves into anything marked fragile. Next time we're on a run with a loading dock, remind me about the forklift trick. It's awesome, right? A dreamy smile spreads across her face. Egret really outdid herself. I wish that I could have been there to see it. Egret's distraction did what it was supposed to. As Sui and I watched, most of the triad guys went to the service entrance, or at the service entrance, abandoned their posts, and went hauling off towards the loading dock. Couple of guys with baseball bats stayed back, but we handled them easy enough. We slipped inside and made a beeline for the back of the warehouse where the shiny object was supposed to be. Let me guess, something went wrong. Nah, actually, it was there like we thought it'd be. Door was open and everything. Shiny object was sitting there in a teak cradle, glimmering with reflected light. Just like the client had said, it had a ring of Taoist talismans hanging off it like a grass skirt, the paper all crinkled with age. We didn't waste any time. I reached in and grabbed the thing. It felt strange through my gloves. The jade sort of, pulsed, as if it had a heartbeat. That sounds ominous. Yeah, tell me about it. I wanted to drop the thing, but it was our payday, so I slipped it in my satchel instead. I couldn't get the flap closed quickly enough. Package being secure, Swee and I turned to hightail it out of here, and then things went to shit. Did the shiny object do something unpredictable? No, not the shiny object. Old man Ziyuan. He was standing there right in front of us, larger than life. I'm guessing that he heard the commotion in the loading dock and come running, well, waddling, to make sure the treasure was safe. As it turns out, it wasn't, because I'd already stolen the thing. He looked displeased. What'd you do? What do you think I did? He had our backs to a wall. We lit the old bastard up. It was pretty epic, truth be told. Spirits were summoned, spells were discharged, the vault door sealed behind Ziyuan. It was just like it was something out of a movie. At one point, the old man leapt onto Swee's back and tried to bite his ear off. I'll bore you with a play-by-play of how the fight went down. In the end, we crushed him. Unfortunately, the fighting had caused some collateral damage. At some point during our showdown with Z1, the control panel for the vault door must have eaten an arc of lightning or the blast of a powerball. It was toast, all black and melted, and neither of us could fix it. So you were trapped in the vault? Yeah, that's about the size of it. And it was only a matter of time before the old man's remaining security guys found us there. There was still one way out, a ventilation duct up high in the rafters, but it was too small for Sweet to fit through. He was a troll after all. I had the shiny object, but if I left Sweet there and security got to him, well, you do the math. So, here's the conundrum. I've got our payday in my satchel. The team is split. It's inevitable that more Triad 49ers are going to find us, but we don't know how many. Egret and Hanu are holding their own in the loading dock, for now. I can stay with Sweet and help fight off the inevitable wave of Triad 49ers, but we're badly outmatched, like badly. The odds of survival won't look good for either of us. If Egret weren't pinned down in the loading dock, she could probably get the vault door open, but in order to get to her, I'd have to leave Sweet alone in the vault. If Zuyon's reinforcements find Sweet before I get back with Egret, well, she uses her thumb to draw a line across her neck. So that's the scenario, Seattle. Not a lot to work with, I know. So tell me, well, what should I do? Take the gamble and go for Egret. It's the plan with the best chance of success. Could have done that, I guess. It might have worked. Of course, could have gotten Sweet gunned down in the vault, too. But in retrospect, that wouldn't have been a huge loss. Anyway, that wasn't what I did. I saw what I thought could be a way to save the day, so I went ahead and took it. I fished the shiny object out of my bag. I still remember how the Taoist talismans that ring the thing crinkled in my hands. I remember shrugging, saying, the hell with it. I put the thing in Swee's bare hands and told him to go nuts. It was like Swee had been waiting for me to pass him the thing. He seemed eager to take it. He hugged that chunk of rock to his chest like a newborn baby. Colors swam on the stone and something changed in his eyes. Then old man Zuyon's 49ers breached the door, and Swee unleashed hell. She pauses, frowning, stops scratching Folly and uses the hand to rub her eyes. Finally, she turns back to you. A sour look pinches her features. What went down in that room? Well, I've only seen that kind of carnage a couple times in my life, and I've run in the shadows for years. Those Triad men were torn into scraps by the end of it. Don't think I'll ever forget the sounds that they made. She clears her throat. I spent most of the fight huddled up in the corner for my own safety. What Sweet let loose from that stone didn't seem terribly interested in discriminating between friend and foe. What do you mean by that? Did he summon hostile spirits or something? Something like that. Truth be told, I don't know what they were. Like I said, I was hiding. But he couldn't have done it without the shiny object. Not in a million years. Whatever they were, the rock brought them here. So what happened then? Hey, Kiss, welcome in. How are you doing today? How's your week going? She shrugs. We waited for things to calm down in the vault, and for the things to go slithering away. I think that Sweet had some limited control over them, which is why they didn't eat us. After they were gone, Sweet gave me the shiny object back, I put it in my satchel, and we bailed. We collected the others on the way out. They were blissfully ignorant of what happened on the other side of the warehouse, and I didn't see a reason to change that. We hightailed it back to the docks and caught the first boat back to the sinking ship. Mission accomplished. Gobbet looks away again, stares off into space. From what I'm told, people still avoid Zewan's warehouse like the plague. It's supposed to be haunted even to this day. People who set foot in the building keep turning up dead. Pretty sure I'm one of the only living people who knows why. Abruptly, her body language changes. Anyway, that's it. Lesson over. If you got any questions, go ahead. Gobbet, was there a point to this story? I'm trying to find a moral here. There was when I started telling it. I thought I was going to tell you to be comfortable with breaking the rules. I don't think I'm going to say that now, though. I'm not feeling it anymore. Why not? At least your team made it out of the run alive. I didn't stay that way for long, but let's leave that for next time, huh? I don't want to get into it. I want to get into it just now. Alright, can you tell me more about the sinking ship? Excuse me. Yeah, sure, the story's over, so we can get into it. I moved out of the sinking ship when I was just a kid. I think I was around 12, maybe 13 years old at the time. In the beginning, it was just me and a couple of rat shaman friends, Cadmus and Movina. They were older, but they were always cool to have. Is it typical for groups of rat shamans to congregate like that? Not terribly, no. I mean, we have lodges, same as any other group of shamans. You can usually find a few of us hanging around in those. I guess that there was just something special about our little group. Or maybe about the sinking ship. We liked it. We felt at home there. Didn't hurt that the sinking ship was well stocked and provisioned when we, found it, either. And don't look at me like that. It was abandoned when we found it. How abandoned? There's a team of Shadowrunners that had lived on the thing before us, but they bid it on a job. Cad and Mal heard the knock of opportunity, and they claimed the raft for Rat in record time. Taking over the sinking ship wasn't an easy job, mind you. The previous owners installed traps and automated defenses all over the raft. Cad had his hands full with those for a month. What kind of traps are we talking about? She shrugs. The usual stuff. Explosives, pop turrets, that kind of thing. Cad and his sister Yasmin took care of most of it without too much trouble. The biggest problems were the scuttling charges. The runners who built the raft had installed those explosives all along the perimeter that would rip the bottom out of the thing if it were ever seized by the police. The explosives were tricky to deal with. Cad was able to disarm them, but he had to leave them where they were. It was always just slightly uncomfortable, knowing that I was sleeping on top of a couple 100 pounds of dormant explosives. Yeah, I can't blame you there. She shrugs. Hey, like I said, I was free. There weren't even really any rules to follow, which suited me just fine. Malvina was sort of the leader of our little nest, but we never really listened to her. She was always trying to play the mom card and instill a sense of responsibility into us. It was cute. She did have a propensity for getting things done, though. I have to give her that. Anyways, after a few months after people started showing up, squatters, homeless people, Shadowrunners, and assorted crazies. As long as they stayed cool with us, we were cool to them. Eventually, became a community. Imagine that. I think you wound up squatting on the Kraken because of your time on the sinking ship? I don't know, maybe. Never really thought about it before, but yeah, maybe. A corner of her mouth curls upward. Guess that I'm a water rat now. Alright, we'll come back to this later. Of course, like I said, it's a long story. So is there something else you want to talk about? Any thoughts on the last run? You didn't bring me on the last run, so no, I don't have much to say. She shrugs. Nice to have a night off, I guess. That's fair. Yeah, hey, Seattle, I'm sorry that this lesson wound up getting a little unfocused at the end. I'm not really sure what came over me. Oh, it's cool, don't worry about it. I still feel bad about it. So look, I'll make you a deal. The next lesson will definitely be on point, and I'll tell you what it's about up front. No more question and answer sessions. How does that sound? Well, fine by me, Gobbet. I'll catch you next time. Next time. That was cute. Gobbet's always fun to talk to. See if Isabel has anything new to say. She might not. Does a runner ever complain if you never take them on a run? Not that I've seen, although there are some runs that runners specifically ask to be on, and if you don't take them on that, they do get super mad. But just like a general run, no, they're usually happy to have the night off. Alright, so Isabel doesn't have anything to say until we do her run, so that's fine. Let's see. That's a nice avatar. That's a good look on you. Isn't it? I've spent months customizing this avatar. She feels more real to me than my own skin. You really feel at home in the Matrix, don't you? You look happy in there. Suppose that I am. It's a comfort thing. As long as I'm jacked in, I can be whoever I want to be. Whatever I want to be. Out there in meat space, I usually feel uncomfortable in my own skin. The avatar offers you a lopsided smile. Probably just live in here if I could. No, we've actually had this conversation before, I think. Yeah, nothing else to talk about there. Didn't recognize it until we were already in it. Alright. Let's see if Duncan has anything interesting to say. He's the only one we haven't talked to now, in here anyway. I might exercise a bit, Girth. Helps clear my head. Come back later and we'll talk. Alright, fair enough. I've still got a couple people we need to talk to before we take off, but let us get a little bit of bunk time, shall we? Get some rest after that run. You wake with a start. Once again, you're tangled in your sheets, drenched in sweat. Your throat feels like it's on fire. You can't remember what your dreams were about, not precisely, but again you feel that yearning sensation, the emptiness in your gut and your chest. Your head throbbing, you heave yourself out of bed. Well, that's creepy. Alright. Let's be real, has Duncan ever had anything interesting to say? I mean, no, but he's our character's brother, so we gotta make the effort. We gotta make the effort. Matrix Resurrection! That sounds familiar. Where have I heard that before? Alright, let's hop into the Mahjong parlor, shall we? See if anything's going on in there. If there's anything back there too. See if Kindly Cheng has learned anything, although she said she'd contact us if she did. Nope. She's got nothing going on. Alright, one other person we need to talk to, and that's the tech guy. I don't know that he's going to want to talk to us. Because he was a big supporter of Whampoa, and we just killed their elders, so I don't know how that's going to go. Also, who's this? A diminutive female orc regards you with a sharp, challenging look. The fierceness of her expression contrasts starkly with the sweet, rounded face and neat bob. She flexes her cyber fists. She fires off a rapid-fire approach in a thick Filipino accent. Why are you staring like that? Didn't anybody teach you manners? She plants her fists on her leather-clad hips and juts her chin out. Sorry? She blinks at her jaw and clenches. It's alright. I can tell you're a newcomer. I just feel a little protective of this part of town. The orc looks you up and down. Finally, with a gruff nod, she introduced herself. I'm Rosario Ignacio, one of the members of my community, Cherry Pink. I specialize in transport missions and nanny services, and I occasionally Shadowrun for walking around money. I can also fry up a mean batch of lumpia, but you can't have any unless I like you. Cherry Pink seems like an odd choice for a street name. She glowers at you. It's a bona fide Filipino nickname. Unless you want a mouthful of fists, you'll show it respect. You said you make a great lumpia. What is that exactly? Filipino spring rolls. Crispy and delicious and full-on pork. Or whatever pork-flavored substitute is on sale. It's important to be frugal. I want some lumpia. It has suddenly become very important to me that you like me. Oh my god, no, we're checking that one out. That is such a good option. I'm taking it. Let's see, Siamese lumpia is great. I have never heard of it before, but I know spring rolls. So I get the idea of the concept, at least. A corner of her mouth twitches upwards. She gives you a sidelong glance. Then you must earn it. Everybody wants to be my friend because everybody wants lumpia. Only a handful deserve it. You said that you're a nanny? She nods enthusiastically. Look around you. See these Shadowrunners and dealers of contraband Johnsons? There's a fair number who have kids, though they wouldn't shout it from the rooftops. Usually too dangerous to keep family close. That's where I come in. How much business do you pull in? The orc raises her chin proudly. Plenty. People never stop having kids. The more dangerous the world gets, the more my services are necessary. I've taught children good manners, hygiene, and the proper use of firearms for over 20 years. Wait, you teach kids to use weapons? I show them how to use weapons safely. She jabs a finger at you for emphasis. What's dangerous is not explaining their world to them. The shadows, that is. These kids have to grow up fast. Weapons training is appropriate when you're living in a smuggler's den. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me when you put it that way. Appropriate priorities are appropriate. Yeah, she's got a vision for how she does things, most definitely. Spring rolls, hoagies, and grinders are all ravioli? Oh, God. Nano, you're straining me here. You're straining me here, Nano. I'm really glad that somebody finally gets it. The gut reaction to most people is to deny the danger. The rest seem to think the children are too immature to step up to the challenge. Me, I trust my kids. I don't underestimate them, and they never let me down. How do you go from babysitting to running the shadows? Her cheeks flush. Well, I used to take care of the children of the Wuxing bigwig up in the peak. Turned out she was siphoning corporate funds to support both a gambling addiction and extravagant lifestyle. She got sloppy, and I stumbled across some pretty damning documents as I was tidying the house. I couldn't unsee them much as I wished, and I started to fear for my life. She was growing desperate, erratic. So I ran. No, you didn't run too far. Why not leave Hong Kong? Couldn't go back to Manila because of those JIS scumbags. There's always been a large community of Filipinos in the shadows, so I sought them out. What happened to the Philippines that you can't go back? Japanese imperial state happened. Supposedly they've been in charge there for decades. I was just a little girl when they sent their imperial marines in. They destroyed my old neighborhood. I don't remember the events, but I still dream of fire to this day. How'd you get out? Half my family fled to the mountains. The other half left the country and eventually scattered all over the globe. I didn't grow up close to anyone but my parents, who are gone now. Any chance of contacting the family members who stayed in the Philippines? York bites her lip. The country's caught up in a struggle between the Japanese and Hook resistance, nationalists and neo-anarchists backed by the dragon Masaru. They couldn't just waltz in and look for family. Besides, they could be barricaded in caves avoiding JIS forces for all I know. You sound pretty resigned about the fate of your homeland. She snorts and lifts her chin high. Filipinos are resistant people. I think the Hook will triumph eventually. And if I've got a Filipino community around me, I'm good. Thanks for talking about it anyway. Not many people care enough to bother. How'd you get that cyberware you got? There's always been a large community of Filipinos in the shadows. I reached out, and they all pitched in to set me up as a Shadowrunner. Now, whenever I land a good gig, I give most of my earnings away, give them back to the community. Do you ever have regrets about leaving your old life behind? She looks away suddenly, her eyes moistening. I'm not sentimental about my old post, if that's what you mean. Bjork takes a big breath and continues. But on Sundays, my only day off, I used to go and sit with the other nannies and housekeepers. We'd bring pieces of cardboard so we could sit on the ground in the shade under bridges. We'd gossip, eat lumpia and rice cake. Nothing special. But I don't belong to that world anymore. I couldn't risk word getting back to my old employer. I miss my old friends, though. I should go. Be on your way, then. Possibly another one of the NPC hires? I'm not 100% sure there. Let's see. Alright, last guy we need to talk to here. Maximum Law, the tech seller. Yo, Max, welcome to the palace. You got anything interesting to tell me today? He looks at the heap of wearable computers, PDAs, and chip decks on his nearby workbench. Because I got nothing but fixing hair curlers and debugging old ladies' PDAs. Swear I'm going to die of boredom. I got some metadata for you. Yo, tell me what you got. The network runs on information. The recent heist at the Emperor's Tomb Museum, the one under construction, had a specific target. Books. Really? Indeed, there was some sort of ancient text, probably sorceress, and awakened monsters that invaded the tomb. Whoa, are you serious? That's nuts! Law slaps his thigh for emphasis. Boom! More proof for my theory. The Kong is done. I give it 2 years tops before demons or something eat everybody. Let's see what I got for you. Grab a program. Here's a surplus stack. Law grabs a nearby bin and slams it down in front of you. Check this shit out! I don't really need programs. Have you got some Nuyen? I'll bill this as a data expense. Wampo recognizes the intrinsic value of information. Information is money. Boom! Pleasure handing meta with you, Max. Law beams happily. Old meta's like a fresh memory defragment. Makes my whole day better. I got some more metadata for you. No, I don't. Alright, I think we're good here. So about those elders. Oh, God. Gotta go? Okay. Watch your back and shoot straight and all. Law grins at you and dexterously flashes a hand sign that Shadowrunners give each other in holovid shows. I got things to do, too. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to bring up the elders. It's fine. It's fine. It's, you know, if it comes up, it comes up, but I wouldn't worry about it otherwise. But we do have to decide what job to do now. So let's head back to the mission terminal. I'm going to save, too, because... Oh, we can't save in here, can we? Oh, we can. All right, let's go ahead and save, because we haven't done that yet today. And see what we got available. We've got a lot of jobs available. Elders? What else? I don't remember any elders. Should I know them? All right, view pending jobs. So, yeah. We have a lot of jobs available. So the question is, which one do we want to do next? I'm not sure. Let me take a look here. I remember all of these. I just gotta figure out which one would be best to take here. I do want to do Isabel's job soon, but I don't want to think we want to do that just this second. So let's not do that yet. We'll hold off on that one, I think. So instead of that, what else do we want to do next? Decisions. I don't know. Maybe the restaurant job? That one seems at least straightforward. I'm kind of considering that one. Or we could do the, what is it, the restaurant job? That one sounds pretty straightforward as well. Or no, not the restaurant job. Where's the... Oh, it's not there because we've already got that one in our inventory. That's fair. So yeah, we might do the one in our inventory next, I think. That one's, like I said, that one seemed pretty straightforward. Yeah, let's do that one. Just get it out of our inventory, I think. What kind of restaurant? A fancy one. Super fancy. They didn't actually mention much about cuisine, I don't think. I'm not sure. Alright, so let's see. Yep, here we go. Go to the Repulse Bay Hotel to help Dr. Shen Yang blackmail Neville Ma. I think that's the next one we want to do. Nice chat, thank you. Alright. So we'll head up towards the subways. That's where you head off to your jobs most times. And right over here. And I don't really need to save again since we just saved and didn't do anything else. Hop in here. Board the train. And let's get set up for the job. So we're going to take our usual crew, I think. We'll take Isabel, because having a Decker is always a good idea. We will take Ractor, because I love riggers, and just now that our drone has a shotgun, we absolutely need to see him in action. And we will take Duncan as well, because just having a dude that's good with a gun is always nice to have on the party. And also I'm curious. There's X-Flow, there's Killuminati. We met both of them. I don't see the other ones we met, though. But alright, so... I think everybody should be set to go. I don't think we need to set them up with anything. Yeah, they should be all set up. Those are some cheap mercs. What, 450 Nuyen? I mean, I assume that's 450 up front, and then, like, in canon, they're taking a cut of the job as well. But we don't actually see that part of the money come across. We only see the part we keep ourselves. So, you know, there's a little bit more going on there, but 450 is low, I suppose. All right. I think we're good. Let's confirm. All right, so this one we want to do as quiet as possible. You arrive at the eponymously named Repulse Bay, a gleaming hotel and apartment building on the shores of Repulse Bay, Hong Kong Island. Rolling storm clouds choke the sky, letting the structure a sinister appearance. As you push through the doors and into the building, a sudden break in the clouds reveals a sun that's gone red as blood. You make your way onto a ground floor elevator. The attendant pays you no mind. As the car begins to climb, you hear the sounds of merriment drawing closer. As the doors slide open, you find Neville Ma's party in full swing. So somewhere between this party and the apartment we're supposed to sneak into, we need to find blackmail material. So that's going to be the trick here. All right, we've got our new spell right there, our new tier 3 spell. That should give us some extra firepower if we need it, which hopefully we won't. We don't want to get into any trouble if we don't have to. But we'll see what happens. Otherwise, I think we're good to go here. All right, see what they got for us. The elevator disgorges you onto the mezzanine with little fanfare. Off in the distance, you can hear the sounds of clinking glasses, carefree laughter, and silverware on china. Kind of out of my element here, Max. I'm not much of a party person. How do you want to handle this? Check the apartment first? Alright, so we have the option to go to the party first or go to the apartment first. That's a good question. So obviously, like they said, the party is very high visibility, so there's a lot of risk there as far as getting recognized. But of course, if we go into the apartment, we could possibly trip something. That's risky too. Yeah, let's try the apartment first. That way, if we get blown in the party, we can just make a break for it, hopefully. It's probably the wisest choice. He strokes his chin, and Koshei flexes his articulated limbs in anticipation. Lead on, we will follow. All right. Let's see if we can peek down here first, though. Oh, hello, Matrix data line. Don't mind if I do. Isabel, you want to? Alright, so she's got a new program now. Or no, she had Tar Blaster before, right? I thought she had something new. Oh, she's got an Assassin ESP. She didn't have that before. Alright, that's kind of nice. I'll take that. Alright, let's go. See if we can get the upper hand with anything in here. That'd be nice. Alright, nothing in the first room. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a lot of dudes. Alright, shit. Oh, that's a nasty pattern there, isn't it? I think right here, I think I could run through there and up the diagonal. It's the only thing I think I can do here. And that's still pretty risky, but I think that's going to be my best bet. See if I can find that spot in the pattern again. Holy shit, I actually slipped through there. I kind of can't believe I pulled that one off. So I hear you broke a contract to win over an undead murder, but rejected the gift of deliciously free Metapig? I hear it was extra long tonight, Grushin. That's a fair summary. Yeah, that's basically what happened there. How are you doing today, Grushin? How's your week going? Blocker IC rating 7. Ooh. Oh, we've never tried hacking into one that... God, this is real hard. Look, the system trace is only 30. So, if we botch this twice, it sets off the alarm. Refuse the Pikmin special! Oh, God. Jane actually is stealth occasionally. Occasionally I get lucky. Alright, let's try this. I've never done one of these before, so we may as well try. Alright. So for anybody that hasn't seen this before, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a couple of Simon Says on these numbers to hopefully buy myself a little bit extra time. Once I've done a couple of these, I will hit next and I'll jump over here where it will start showing symbols on these top things. What I have to do is I have to match the symbols to a pattern down here. I find the correct pattern, I click on it, we get through. That is how hacking works in Hong Kong. All right, let's go. 5, 4, 6, 8. 1, 9, 4, 1. 8, 5, 5, 8, 2. All right, what do we got? W in the last slot. Damn it! Oh, I messed up. I got cocky. Come on. Whew. All right, messed up the first one, but we got it eventually. All right. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. I wish I could do that voice. That voice is so good. Or in this case, very quick. We're still okay. We had added 20 to the alarm, but it didn't set it off. We can't get caught by the eyes, though, or we'll get in trouble. But I think we can just jack out after this, so we should be good. All right, let's search for information on Neville Ma. That's what we're here for. Let's see. Apartment door code. Here we go. 1635. I think that's in my mission, but I'm going to write that down anyway, just to be safe. You know how much I love a cheap laugh? Make with failures. Oh, don't worry. Before this mission's over, I'm sure things are going to go very wrong. Very, very wrong. 1635. Noted. Noted. Search other records. Plant maintenance logs. Let's start there. Reams of data flood the screen. Everything is organized by way of reference numbers. It's an incredibly obtuse and confusing system. Without knowing what number to search for, there's little value here. Events. One event found: Yellow Springs Film Private Party, mezzanine level. Front desk indicates 6 unclaimed invitations. Download invitation? Yeah! Don't mind if I do. Planned hotel expansion. You download a series of files detailing expansion plans to the hotel's ground floor. These might be valuable to local construction firms. Ooh, pay data. I'll take that. All right, let's get the hell out of here. How clean was that? Beautiful, beautiful. As a matter of fact, I'm going to save because that felt like a fluke, and I feel like things are going to go bad eventually. Wayne June could make bank reading a phone book. Make bank reading a phone book? Oh man, some voice actors are just amazing at what they do. It's currently waiting for a subway train to commute to work. Well, I hope you have a good day at work today, Rooks. Save game. All right. Now, as we planned, let's head up to the apartment. We'll break in there, see what we can get, and then we'll see if we can head down to the party if we need more information. If we can get the information we need in the apartment, just get the hell out. I'd be happy about that too. Alright, penthouse level. Anything interesting down here? There is not. Alright, there's a standard hotel door protected by a simple hydraulic locking mechanism. Alright, input code. 1635. The door unlocks. Let's get our asses inside. Why is it so cold in here? I can see my breath. That's not good. Alright, so we're looking for incriminating evidence here is what we're doing. Why can we see our breath? That's not good. Rows and rows of finely tailored suits, custom shoes, and various accessories. Alright, nothing too interesting there. Liquor cabinet. The liquor cabinet is full of expensive wines and spirits. Several decanters sit atop it, but one in particular catches your eye. A bottle of brilliantly bright red wine. No, don't steal a sip. No drinking on the job. Check the fridge. The fridge is well stocked. There's enough food in here to feed a big party. Alright. Get some booze now! I'm working! The opposite side of the living room is dominated by a massive security door. It's much heavier than the exterior apartment door. It looks to be a recent addition. The wall has clearly been reinforced to support it. A series of top-of-the-line commercial-grade mag locks hold the door sealed. It'd be easier to tunnel through the wall than it would be to break it open. A cursory glance at the door frame reveals no sign of a keypad or a jack point, but you do see what appears to be an RFID reader. A 16-digit number has been stenciled into the side of the reader in red ink. This didn't come with the apartment. Why fortify an interior like this? Keep up appearances, I think. Can you imagine what installing this monstrosity in the hallway would do to the building's aesthetic? People would talk about it. A man like Ma wouldn't want that. Well, one thing is for certain. We aren't getting through there without a key. Most likely, that means we'll have to get one from Ma or from one of his people. Guess we're going to crash that party after all. Yeah, looks like that. Saddle up. We've got a party to attend. Damn it. I was really hoping we'd be able to do this nice and quietly, but I don't see anything else in here. Those crystal decanters contain a shitload of lead. Oh yeah, some of the old ones definitely do. Alright. Well, we've got invitations at least. That's a good thing. Oh god, I hope we don't. We're supposed to do this quietly. We're supposed to be doing this quietly. A sullen-looking troll stands at the periphery of the kitchen. He turns to you, shoulders slumped forward in size. No restaurant service tonight. Kitchen staff's too busy with the party to serve anyone. Wish I could get out of that balcony. He sniffs the air wistfully. Oh, all that delicious food. And why can't you get in? Yes, only. The guy throwing it seems connected to the Trid industry. There are tons of actors in there. Some of them from Promises and Moonlight. He fiddles shyly. You know the show, right? Yeah, I can't wait for the new season, of course. His eyes widen excitedly. Me too. That twist with Lady Chung in the last episode? What a cliffhanger. I couldn't believe it. Me neither. Good luck with the kitchen, buddy. Laugh tracks are dead, people. Yes. All right. There's a security guard back in there. I assume we need to talk to him. Chat up the waiter first, though. The ragged waiter manages to straighten as you approach. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the veranda at the Repulse Bay. How may I be of service? And what's with the guard at the balcony? There's a private party outside, and our establishment provides security for the event that requires it. But don't worry, the balcony will be free again in a few hours. I got some questions about Neville Ma. Have you heard of him? His expression clouds. Certainly. Everyone knows Mr. Ma. Yeah, what kind of guy is he? Between you and me, he's difficult, which is putting it lightly. Man runs the staff ragged. He jerks his thumb in the direction of the veranda. That's his party out there. Richies like him love to display their wealth. Sounds like you have some stories. He lowers his voice. Like you wouldn't believe. He once made a handful of us walk all the way to Shek-O to fetch dumplings for his guests. It was pouring out, with winds blowing around 50 kilometers per hour. Practically a death march in that weather. Why didn't the kitchen here make him some dumplings? Ma said the kitchen's dumplings weren't good enough. Called them peasant food in front of all his guests. Chef Kang was furious, of course, but since Ma was rich, hotel management told him to give him whatever he wanted. By the time we got back from Shek-O, the dumplings were cold, the party was over, and Ma had retired to his suite with a pair of starlets. We had to pay for those dumplings out of our own damn pockets. A couple of days later, Kevin comes down with pneumonia from the trip. Lost his job over it. That's just one of our experiences with him. Needless to say, no one here's a fan of the man, but we're paid to serve the tenants here, so that's what we do. He shrugs. It's a living. Hey, there's a heavy security door in Neville Ma's apartment. You know anything about that? The waiter opens his mouth to reply, then pauses. Just how do you know about that? When were you in Ma's apartment? A few days ago. I left something in there. I need to get it back. Oh, we don't want to cause a scene. I mean, we could go bother Ma during his party, but that would look just as bad for you as it would for us. He lowers his voice. Tell you what, try talking to Chef Kang in the kitchen. He's got keys to just about every door in the place. On VIP request, he's expected to personally deliver their meal. It's a status thing. Compliments to the chef or whatever. Poor guy spends as much time delivering food as he does cooking it. Oh, worth a try, thanks. No problem. Just don't mention I sent you, alright? Chef's a vengeful man, so I don't want to get on his bad side. Oh, you look exhausted. Why don't you take a break? Not yet. Can't afford to miss any tips. He sighs. I went to my cow last week and it wiped me out. Bad luck with the horses, you know? Yeah, today's the day your luck changes. I'm willing to help you out for some information. The waiter stares at you suspicious, but his desperation gets the better of him. I'm listening. I need access to a penthouse apartment. Name your price. I got $1 million to spare. Alright, whose apartment? Oh, wait, no, we've already got access to the apartment. We're good there. Alright, so we need to talk to the chef, because he might have a key. Where's the chef, though? Is this him, the cook? I guess so. The chef looks up from his pot of boiling water, red-faced and sweating. A name tag is pinned to his lapel. Chef Victor Kang. Thought I told you to send in the waiter. Who the hell are you? Oh, wow. All right, we're going very direct here. That's kind of, that's kind of... Okay, I was expecting a little bit more subtlety here, but apparently no. I'm going to be straight. I need to get past Neville Ma's security door. Yeah, I could do that, and I could also lose my job for it, even go to jail. Sounds like a real winner of a proposition to me. He strains a vat of boiled fish through a sieve. Got work to do, stranger. Door's that away. Look, I don't understand how Ma can get away with ragging on your cuisine. I mean, you fed his whole party. You deserve better, man. His expression hardens. Yeah, cost me a raise and a whole lot of face. I'll bet that bastard didn't lose a wink of sleep over it either. With a single motion, the chef lofts off his fish's head. Let's see. I know a thing or two that'll have Ma churning in his silk pajamas. Consider the key fob a means to an end. Yeah, gladly. He grabs a plastic tab from his apron pocket and tosses it to you. Ruin him, will you? Or at the very least, ruin his day. I'll consider it a bonus if you wreck his anemic girlfriend and giddy starlet's days, too. Girlfriend? What girlfriend? What's her name? Snaps his fingers irritably. Ku Feng, that's it. She's the rich wench who paid for Ma's hospital stay. Skinny anemic thing. Never eats. All she ever orders is cheap red wine. First I thought it was a fling, but now I'm not so sure. Maybe you can split them up. I'd thank you for it. No, thanks for your help, Chef. I'll see what I can do. No, thank you. Alright. So, hopefully we don't even need to go into the party in this case. That would be very nice. Because the party seems like a lot of exposure and a lot of risk. If we can do this nice and quiet with very few people involved, that'd be nice. Sounds like a vamp? I don't know, it's hard to tell in Shadowrun. Alright, let's get back there. Suspiciously wealthy anemics? Alright, you got me there, that does sound like a thing. And why is it so cold in the apartment? As you approach the door, a light set near your key fob goes from red to green. There's a loud series of thunks and the door slides open. A blast of frigid air floods into the room from the other side. Alright, what do we got in here? Nothing over there. Nothing over there. Something back here. Cyber terminal. An expensive consumer-grade computer terminal awaits your input. The display background is set to a screen capture from Promises in Moonlight. Penelope Wong's radiant face beams at you from a corner of the screen. This must be Ma's personal terminal. He smiles. Can't think of a better place to dig for dirt on the man. Few keystrokes is all it takes to get into the computer's file structure. With the high-tech security door in his apartment, it seems Ma never bothered to encrypt his machine. An options menu appears. I think that is Moonlight Sonata in the background. It's very pretty. Nice vibe, too. Let's search his email first. You read through Ma's email, most of it's spam and boring business arrangement, but one detail stands out. Neville Ma is frequently emailing a woman named Ku Feng. They seem close, exchanging a lot of thinly veiled flirtation. It appears that Neville has been lavishing Ku Feng with money and affection, expensive gifts, rent checks, miserable attempts at poetry, seeing that her every need is met. Interesting. Check his financial records next. Neville's financial records are astoundingly boring aside from two major things. He spent next to nothing on his hospital bills, where it appears he only stayed for 3 days. Then he's spending a lot of money on a woman named Ku Feng. Jewelry, bills, clothes, and such. Is that poetry bot? Yeah, where's that guy when you need him? Seriously. Alright, let's unlock his office door as well. With the push of a button, you unlock the office door from the other side of the room. An ominous thunk reverberates through the cold steel apartment. Alright, what's in here? What's up with the mist everywhere? Without warning, a frigid wind blows through the apartment. The chill cuts through your clothing, raising goose flesh all over your body. Where is that coming from? There is another blast of cold, and a pale and imposing woman materializes out of thin air. A throng of blank-faced men and women materialize alongside her. Ah, the little dog who's been sniffing around Neville Ma's affairs. Her voice is imperious, arrogant. Ku Feng, I presume? She nods. Just so. My servants have been watching you since you arrived. I suspect that you are an evil man and that you are here to do harm to Neville, and so I came to stop you. Let's read her aura real quick. You focus your vision on the astral plane and expand your senses to take in the woman's aura. Black shadows color her essence, the kind of markings often found in the auras of terminal cancer patients. And vampires. Hang on a second, are you a vampire? Very astute. She grins at you, displaying a set of sharp-looking teeth. And what do you intend to do about me now that you've had that revelation? I think I need to know a bit more about you before I decide. Yeah? You guys called it. I don't know what's going on with the piano music, but that's hilarious. A wise decision. Acting without knowledge is the mark of a fool. Know then that I am Ku Feng, that my servants have been watching you since you arrived. You think yourself so clever, sniffing around Neville's affairs like an amateur detective? So sly, so quiet. But you are not quiet enough to escape my ears, little man. All we need is incriminating evidence. We don't want to hurt the guy. Let's see. I couldn't be less interested in hurting Neville, lady. I'm just here to finish a job. If that is true, then it is a shame. You have seen my face, and you know what I am. Naturally, I cannot allow you to leave. And you can't afford to fight me here for fear of police involvement. She lifts her chin imperiously. Perhaps we can settle this in a more civilized manner. A face-off in a neutral location. Will you accept my challenge? Duel at midnight works for me. Very well. She steeples her fingers. As for the terms, if I win, you willingly submit to my influence. You become my pawn. And if you win? Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. She nods, grinning. Wait 15 minutes for the sun to go down, then come to the roof. We'll settle this there like gentlemen and ladies. Oh, of course we teleport straight there. I was going to go like, let's just run. Let's just run. But no, that is apparently not an option. Shiro, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Good to have you here. Shootout at High Moon. That actually sounds badass. I kind of like that. And if I win, you can be that little castle guy that only moves sideways. Gregory, welcome in. How are you doing today? Before we start the fight, I need to blow my nose again. I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Tarek, Vamps, and SR have a very bad allergy to wood and silver. We'll see if they like fire, too. We're going to find that out real quick. Sure, you stayed up way too late and I'm too old to just wing it? I know the feeling, unfortunately. The sun dips below the horizon, mist coalesces, coating the rooftop in dew. Ku Feng and her cohorts appear. Are you prepared to become my servant, dwarf? You must not resist or I'll be forced to kill you. Should it come to that, I'll endeavor to make it swift and painless. But no promises. Let's see what you got. This will be entertaining. Kill him. And we're fighting. Oh, there is so many of them. Jesus. What is that, 7? Am I counting 7? Wow, that's too many. All right. Oh, that's a civilian? Oh, they're all civilians. Oh, because they're vampire servants. They're vampires, thralls, I assume. Shit. They're thralls. Gotcha. Oh, well, she's right over there. Presumably the end game is to take her out. So much for keeping civvies out of the firefight. She started it. Alright, how do we want to do this? I wonder if they go non-hostile once I take her out. I'm actually kind of curious about that. Let me cast Wild Aim on myself first. Alright, nice. I still have, like, no chance to hit from back here. Unfortunately, so... Shane, look at the smoldering remains of the city and all the dead civilians. Well, to be fair, she started it. That does sound like a thing I'd do, in honesty. Let's see. Let's get him over here. Set up some covering fire. Let's see, Raptor. Raptor, you get back here. And then go ahead and activate Koshé. Alright, Koshé is up and ready. Where do we want Koshé to set up? Let's set up Koshé. Yeah, let's start over here, say. See how that works. And then Isabel. Ooh, running out of good combat positions here. I don't want Isabel to get too far to the front right now. Let's have her just hang back right here and see what happens. And I'm going to put her on Overwatch. And now let's go ahead and fire a mana bolt at Kufang. 81% isn't too bad. 1 damage. Jesus. Oh, she's got some move. Holy crap. Oh, that is a very big man. All right. I was going to say, let's see if we can just let the civilians be. I don't think that's going to be an option. I don't think we have that luxury. God damn it. Yeah, we're going to have to go in. We don't have an option here. Let's see, Raptor. Oh, Raptor's not very good at fighting. Now, let's see. Let's have Max. Gonna have him start with Flamethrower on this guy. Let's test this thing out. Wow! I think I like it. And then I'll have him get set up over here. Yeah, that guy's gotta be a troll. He's humongous. Large lad. Alright, this might be a case for grenade launcher. Oh, line of sight blocked, shoot. So no, for right now, let's do an aim shot. And then let's do burst fire. Not terrible. Raptor. Raptor does actually have a gun. We've just never had him use it before. So let's go ahead and... Dang it! Let's see, Duncan! That guy is right up in our face. Now let's hit him with a burst fire. Did not kill him, shockingly. Civilian joined the enemy team, basically. Koshé, what do you got here, Koshé? Let's see, you can't hit the guys on the other side of this, that's not good. But you can hit this guy. He didn't have all these, yeah, he didn't have all these attacks before. He's learned some new stuff. Alright, so let's do... let's do target leg on this guy. Mine is 0 AP, rude. Aim shot. Dang. Missed, beautiful. Oh god. Rector! Missed, good. Missed, good. Ow, crit! Alright, we're gonna have to heal that crit. There we go, Isabel's feeling better. What do we want to do next? Let's see, Isabel. Oh, that's, how is that 2? Isabel, shoot this guy? Holy shit, that was a crit. I'll take that. That noise too, Jesus. Yeah, dude has a cannon for arm, actually. Terrifying. Alright, we hit that guy. So now Raptor. Go ahead and shoot this dude. Actually, no, Raptor. Shit. Raptor, just get behind cover for right now. Let me see if I can deal with this guy, because I've got another fireball. That did not kill him. Holy shit, what is that dude made out of? Alright, you go ahead and take care of this dude. Missed! Ah, there we go. Alright. What do we want to do next? Target head on this civilian. Hopefully get a crit. Nice! And then do a shotgun shot. Holy crap! Alright, that works. Minus 3 AP! Oh god, that's not good. Oh god, Raptor's in bad shape here. Raptor, since your drone is down, why don't you just go ahead and get to cover for right now? Let's see, Max? Let's see if we can finish this dude off since we can't heal for another 2 turns. Hit him with another fireball. Only 9 damage because of the cover, jeez. Let's hit him with a mana bolt as well. 6 damage, that's something. Wearing him down slowly. Isabel, what you got? Not a good chance to hit, that's for sure. Oh, I really wish she had better. That's not great. We'll make it work. There we go! Oh, odds were not good, but it worked out somehow. I'll take it. Alright, Duncan! What do you got, buddy? Let's take an aim shot. Let's move first, actually. Can we get a better line here? For just 1 AP? Probably not, but I'm going to try moving right here. And still don't have good odds, but there. Oh, it's Kufeng herself right there. Jesus. Alright, that's going to be dangerous. Nah, I need to buff his aim before he can hit anything without hit him with anything else. Miss, I'll take that. Can I turn Koshe back on? I can. Beautiful. All right. All right, so let's start. I'm going to cast Wild Aim on Duncan. Because he really needs better accuracy, basically always. And then let's see. I'm going to see if I can hit Kufeng with a beanbag shot, because that'd be incredible. Nope. Miss. Alright, we'll just go ahead and plug her then. Alright, Raptor. You are going to switch to manual focusing on Koshei. Beautiful, you should have better 2-hit now. Let's see if we can do target leg reducer accuracy a little bit. That'd be really nice. Minus, alright, it seems like she's immune to that, which is incredibly rude. Let's see if I can throw another fireball here. Or do we want to... She does have a lot of armor. Let's see if we can strip some of that. Nice! And Isabel. Can she see her from over here? She can. He has like no chance to hit though, but we'll take a shot. Alright, so we got her a bunch of damage over time. That's pretty cool. Still going after the drone though, which is rude. Alright, so let's have Duncan. Where can he shoot? I'm gonna have Duncan head over here, see if he can pick off that other civilian. They hate that bot, they really do, I don't know why. Alright. Let's see, Koshei is still kicking. So... let's shotgun a vampire. That felt nice. And let's see. Yeah, just shotgun a vampire again. Crit for 30! Beautiful. Beautiful. I really don't want to have to come out of cover. That would not be great. Let's try burst fire. One hit. The crit. Beautiful. And let's hit her again. And max. Oh, jeez. Let's give Isabel better aim. We probably should have started with that. And then we need to advance somewhere so we can actually hit her. Go ahead and move up here for right now. Let's shotgun a vampire before the vampire shotguns your blood. Oh, God. I hope not. Ooh, hey, wait, I know. Let's overclock the drone. Which gives him an extra AP, which he'll use for more shotgunning. Boom. Whew. That got tense. Thank you, Siamese. Whew, man, that got tense. Kufeng's calm and haughty demeanor dissolves as her eyes grow wild. Wait, I surrender. Don't kill me. What's wrong? Not feeling so powerful now? She clasps her hands, pleading. The whole Mistress of the Night thing is just an act. I'm just an accountant that got infected. I don't really know how to fight. I was faking it. I just wanted to scare you into backing down. An accountant? She nods. I was on a business trip to Shanwei last year. I went to a rave, got drunk, and passed out. When I woke up, I was in an alley and someone had done this to me. I don't need to hear your whole life story. Just tell me what you expected to get out of all this. I don't know. Money? Power? Both? Like I said, I don't know the first thing about being a real vampire. I figured if I was smart about it, I could maybe build my own little thing here, like a business, become the vampire queen of Repulsed Bay. Wait, so this whole thing has just been you, what, improvising? Pretty much, yeah. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just doing my best. She looks away in shame. Her voice goes flat. Look, if I'm ever found out, I'll be killed for bounty money. It was either this or get gunned down by a vampire hunter. Shouldn't your family or coworkers be looking for you? Not if I can help it. You think that I want them to see me like this? As far as my friends and family are concerned, I'm missing. Have been for months. They probably think that I'm dead. Her chest hitches. She looks miserable. I think that's for the best. I mean, how can I explain what I've become? Can you imagine how ashamed my family would be to find out that I'm this monster? No, it's better that they think I'm dead. So, can we call a truce or something? I scratch your back, you let me live? She clasps her hands, pleading. What do you say? I think we can work something out, conditionally. She nods eagerly. Yes, anything. Just tell me what you need. First off, I want some answers. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. You ask the questions, I'll answer. No lying, I promise. Alright, how are you and Neville Ma connected? I happen to be in the same hospital that he was, trolling for a meal. I don't like to drink blood from unwilling people, so I go to hospitals at night, looking for people who won't mind if I take a sip. People in comas, patients with terminal illnesses, that kind of thing. Makes me feel better about what I have to do. So I wandered into this room and I recognized Neville Ma. I'd seen him on the news, seen photos of the accident. He was in really bad shape. A lot of broken bones and internal injuries, but somehow he was still conscious. What then? Well, I knew that if I given uninfected people my blood, they'll be able to heal like I did, just not as fast. Figured that out early and by mistake, but it can come in handy from time to time. So when I saw that Neville was conscious, I decided to make my grand appearance. I materialized in the room and told him that I'd make him a trade. I'd fix him up good as new, but he'd owe me some favors for it. Wasn't specific as to how many favors or what kind. He agreed. Actually, he leapt at the chance to become my pawn. Guess that when you're broken up like that, you'll do just about anything to get better. The deal was done, and we got along. I think he's charming, he thinks I'm funny, and he doesn't care that I'm a vampire. He told me that he gives me nice things because he likes me, not because he owes me his life. It's all very sweet. So, what's it like, being a vampire? Not the same as being a person. The human metahuman vampiric virus is like any other disease, except instead of coughing, I can't go out during the day. It's not all bad, though. I can turn into mist, and I'm a lot stronger than I used to be. Still have to wash my hair and pay for parking. You know what I miss the most? Steamed buns. I can't eat or drink anything except blood, and I loved street food before I got infected. Sometimes I'll walk by food carts just to smell the things they're frying up. But if I buy something, 10 minutes later, it's all coming back in a mess. So is there a cure? I wish, but no. The only cure is being tossed in a bonfire or having your head cut off. And almost every nation in the world will pay a bounty for a dead vampire. It's not like I had much of a choice, you know? Be a vampire or get killed for some quick cash. Pretty raw deal for me either way. Alright, I think I've decided what's going to happen. Let me catch up on chat first. If she was just an accountant who doesn't know how to fight, that is bad news for a real vampire fight. Oh yeah, if we run into like a real vampire clan, we are going down fast. Especially if it's like more than one vampire instead of just one vampire and some thralls, you know? Bread, it's so desperate for eating. Oh my god, I love bread. When you cannot have, or even if it's hard to have. Oh, I couldn't do without bread. I love bread too much. It's so good. Okay. What's it gonna be? You're gonna get Neville to fire Penelope Wong. Wait, All of this is about that stupid soap opera? I take the jobs that pay, lady. I can't believe it. Of all the idiotic reasons to blow my cover. Fine, I'll make Neville get rid of her. You're sure you can convince him? Neville can't say no to me. I mean that quite literally. He'll do it, no question. And what about Neville and I? I don't care who Neville Ma associates with. Thank you. He knows what I am, and he doesn't care because I saved his life. I won't trouble you again. Oh, let's get the hell out of here. I think this is a job well done. Bread is so good, and there's so many types of bread. There is infinite bread types. I love all of them. Alright, let's get down to the mezzanine, I think. And let's leave. We got our blackmail material, we're good. And hopefully we even got that guy his actors for free. How many civilian casualties does this farce pile up? All of them? Like, I spent one turn going like, let's see if we can leave the civilians alone. And the civilians turned out to be very strong and very determined to murder the shit out of us. So it was either take down the civilians or we were going to die. And we nearly died anyway. Because one of those civilians was a troll with a sword. And let me tell you, he did not come to play. He knew how to use that thing. Woo. The clink of glasses and sound of Neville Ma's party fades into the distance as you leave the Repulse Bay. As the MTR carries you towards Haoi, the mountains of Hong Kong Island roll by as looming masses, obscured by rain and storm clouds. Penelope Wong has been fired from Promises in Moonlight, and Ma will be at a serious disadvantage without her. The whims of Trid viewers shift as readily as the tide, and without the starlet's presence, Promises in Moonlight will undoubtedly lose ratings. However, with Ku Feng at his side, Neville Ma may be able to thwart any of Dr. Shen Yang's attempts to undermine his other businesses. Hey, I got one job to do. I did the job. What happens after this, not my problem. Hell, if he wants some more blackmail done, he can hire me again. Beware the troll ball ninja. Honestly, in Shadowrun, that's good advice. If you're that big, all you have to do is get a sword. And it doesn't matter if you know how to use it. You're pretty dangerous. Oh man, let's go turn in this job. Let's go get paid. I am looking forward to a payday. Your comlink chirps. It's kindly Cheng. Max here. Come to the Mahjong parlor at once, Max. I have something I want to show you. Your crew is already there. I'll be there right away. Very good, my sweet. Very good. I'll see you shortly. Bucktooth Gamer, welcome in. Happy affiliate anniversary. Is it my affiliate anniversary? I never actually wrote down the date for that, so I don't actually know. I know when I started streaming, I never bothered to write down what my affiliate anniversary was. If it is, then thank you. I appreciate that. Shane got that not my job mentality down. I did what I'm paid for and not a bit more, which is my philosophy. Lost, welcome in. Shadow's being kind to you. We just did a job and I think it did pretty well. So I'd say so, definitely. Shadowrun Mall Ninjas have ninjutsu skill soft for maximum weeb. Yeah, when you can buy ninjutsu, you know, it's a bit of a different world, I would say. Oh, it says it in chat. I forgot they have a new feature that mentions that now. Yeah, shoot, I forgot that. Yeah, they just added that like a week ago, too. That's fortunate. Well, welcome in, Bucktooth Gamer. How are you doing today? How's your week going? Happy affiliversary? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I had the weird fortune of getting affiliate right when it rolled out because I'd been streaming for a while and I was already qualified when it rolled out. It took them a couple weeks before it got through the queue to me, which made me super nervous, but yeah. So I got affiliate roughly when it was first available. So it's been a while. It definitely has been. I was just talking the other day about how the reason I have so few the reason I originally had so few badges is because I had all the badges that I was able to have when they first rolled out affiliate. And they eventually gave more, but I hadn't got around to updating it since then. I know Kung Fu. Actually a thing in this universe. Let's see, doing well, had a week off in between starting a new job, getting some good gaming in. Oh, that's nice. I always think having a little bit of time between jobs is a nice and healthy thing just to unwind a little bit, get the old job off, and sort of mentally prepare yourself for the new job. I hope the new job works out well for you, too. I know it's a little stressful starting something new, but I hope it's a good situation for you. Toxon, thank you so much for that as well. How are you doing today? Hope the weekend's been kind to you. Zodal, thank you very much. I'm going to save before we head in there, because if Kindly Cheng is happy, I don't know if I should be happy too. Plus, we just did a really good job at that job too, so hopefully that's a thing. Doing good? Excellent, excellent. Mostly play, oh, Baldur's Gate 1, nice! Going all the way back to the classics. Very good. I've wanted to play that on stream, and some people have tried to convince me to. The only thing I've been holding back is I've heard it's a very long game, but I want to. Actually, one of the very first games we played on stream was Neverwinter Nights 2, that same sort of genre, and we had a great time with that. That one was a blast. Alright, so let's talk to Dr. Shen Yang first, turning the job. Shen Yang is busily puffing away on a foul-smelling cigar, his comlink in one hand. His eyes flash with anticipatory glee as he sees you. Dr. Shen Yang greets you in the name of all producers. How'd the shindig go? I got the information you wanted. You explain the night's events from start to finish. As you speak, Shen Yang's face grows ever more incredulous until finally his mouth is left hanging halfway open. He slowly places the cigar in a nearby ashtray and shakes his head in disbelief. That has got to be the single strangest story I've ever heard. Vampires in the trade industry? What a nightmare. Can't believe you let that leech keep sucking on Neville. Big ace to have in his pocket. What if she starts biting on other people, actors and whatnot? Not an optimal outcome, but I guess that's okay. You got me Wong, and that means his show is dead. Alright, kid. I'll send a payment to your Matrix drop. You earned it. Glad to be able to help. Dr. Shen Yang is about to speak, but his comlink begins to buzz. Irritated, he answers it and switches to speaker mode. Yeah, who is it? What do you want? Hello, Shen Yang. I just wanted to let you know that I've released Penelope Wong from her contract. If you're still interested in her, she's all yours. Also, I hope your business is doing all right. I heard you had some problems with cash flow. If you need a loan, I'd be happy to help. Dr. Shen Yang eyes the image of Neville Ma with deep suspicion. You don't sound too mad, Nev. What's the catch here, anyway? Must have the next big thing lined up already. Oh, Doctor, there's no need for it. Do you know why I keep winning our little contests and you're always playing catch-up? It's because you think people like Miss Wong actually matter. They don't. Stars are crafted, molded out of talent, yes, but ultimately constructed. With enough time and talent, anyone can be made into a star. Just a matter of manipulating public perception. Maybe so, but I got her now, and your show's dead in the water without the star. What do you think of that, eh? I think that I'm going to do what any good soap opera producer would do. Write her character out with a tragic death and bring on someone new. You labor under the misapprehension that viewers have loyalty. They don't. They only have appetite. As long as you chase stars like Wong, you will lose. Don't be afraid to think bigger, Doctor. Reach for the drama, not the dramatists. With that, Neville Ma hangs up on Dr. Shen Yang. For the next 30 seconds, Dr. Shen Yang releases a stream of violently imaginative invectives at his phone. Even Strangler Bao looks taken aback at the ferocity of Shen Yang's anger and the inventiveness of the sexual positions that he describes. Finally, he takes a deep breath and composes himself. That dirty little weasel, insulting my creativity like that, the nerve! Go on, kid, we're done here. Take all your help. Thanks for all your help, but I gotta get going. I gotta talk to a guy about buying a bunch of snakes. I actually know a guy if you need. Bucktooth Gamer, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Let's see. Wasabi, you welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, meanwhile, Auntie Cheng's taking notes. Oh, I gotta use that. That's good. That's good. That is actually good advice. I think he's got the right of it there, honestly. Alright, let's see what Kindly Cheng wants. As you walk through the mahjong parlor, you see your crew waiting for you, clearly uncomfortable to be so close to the triad boss. Then you see why. Kindly Cheng's cheeks are flushed and glowing. She's already hit the bottle pretty hard. Ah, Max, you're here. Excellent. Yes, Max, it is good to see you. They both have expressions that say they'd rather be anywhere else. Let's get to it, shall we? You said you had a lead, Auntie? I did, and I do. Kindly Cheng takes out her PDA and gently places it on the table in front of her. The wiretap we placed on the police force has borne fruit. Her mouth breaks into a wolfish grin. Her eyes take on a feral gleam. She appears fueled by alcohol and vengeance, a hungry beast on the hunt. My people have delivered a snippet of a recorded video call between the Plastic Face Man and Chief Inspector Crate of the Special Duties Unit. Wow! This should be good. Should we take a seat? Unfortunately, it's only a snippet. There are some technical difficulties with the tap. She glances at Bao, who nods back at her. The person responsible has been sacked. Ching reaches out a lacquered fingernail, hunts for the button she's looking for, and stabs it in victory. There's a loud crackling noise in the beginning of the recording, followed by a squelching squeal that makes Gobbet cover her ears in pain. When the video recording begins, the man's voice sounds far away, as if he's talking through a thick pane of glass. The woman's is louder, closer. Say that again. There's something wrong with this line. I said my client isn't interested in hearing more excuses, Inspector. That's what I thought you said. I'm not making excuses, mister. I have an apartment to run. Not for much longer if those two Westerners aren't found. They're linked to this Raymond Black somehow, and my client wants them out of circulation immediately. The two runners are his accomplices, too. Little Orc and the dwarf with the cyberdeck. Gobbet looks at Isabel wide-eyed and swallows hard. Isabel winks back reassuringly. I'm aware, Inspector, thank you. We don't know how much any of them know, and my client is adamant that the risk be mitigated immediately. I've already made this SDU's highest priority. If Josephine wants more resources on it, I'm going to need allocations from elsewhere in the department. That's a problem that can be easily dealt with. My client wants this over now. No more excuses, no more fuck-ups, no more cops floating in the river. Kindly Cheng smiles at that and pours herself a shot. Tell her we're redoubling our efforts. Very good. Dead or alive, you bring them to me. My client requires my personal verification that the threat has been eliminated. Hang on, this line is getting worse. There's a sharp crackle and the recording ends. Kindly Cheng picks up the PDA and puts it away with a smile. She unscrews the cap on her bottle and pours herself a shot with a flourish. That's the guy we saw in the surveillance footage, the one who killed Raymond Black. She leans into the PDA. That plastic face looks a lot cooler close up. Let me get caught up right here. Sacked as in tied in a sack and thrown in the river? Probably, if she was feeling nice. She is incredibly vindictive. Has the person responsible for sacking the person been sacked as well? You don't want to go too far down the line. You only got so many good employees. Excuse me. Guy from Red Bank, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. How are you doing today? How's your weekend going? No more fudge-ups, buddy. I think it's kind of pretty. That video doesn't tell us much. I mean, we already knew that there's an APB on us. All I'm sure of now is the man with the plastic face is definitely working for someone else. It's Josephine. Is that all we have, Auntie? First name? It's not just a name, Gobbet dear. It's the first name. Josephine Sang. She's the one pulling the strings. Kindly downs her shot and slams the glass upside down on the table. That disease-ridden dog fucker. I should have known it was her from the beginning. She drums her fingers on the table in front of her. And she had nerve to call down the heat on my runners. On Nightjar. Oh, that scabrous fossil is gonna pay. I don't recognize the name. Cheng makes a wet hacking noise in the back of her throat and spits on the floor. She's the CEO of Sang Mechanical Services and a member of the Hong Kong Executive Council. Her face turns to a mask of disgust. Josephine Dog fucking Sang. CEO, huh? What do you know about her? She was Hong Kong's Philanthropist of the Year in 2054 and 2055. Children's hospitals, homeless shelters, food distribution centers. Good causes. And kind of get good PR because people are too lazy and myopic to look for the real people doing the hard work. The face-to-face with the poor work. Don't be so cynical, Isabel. Auntie Chang smiles at her sweetly. Coming face to face with the unsanitized for video pour is distasteful, dear. You know that. Her face gets stony. Beyond being a CEO and philanthropist, I also know that Josephine Sang is a lying, conniving bitch. Sounds like you two have a history together. Whatever gave you that impression, my sweet? Her wolfish smile returns. Yes, my darling, I don't like Josephine Sang, and I'm going to fuck her up. I'm going to fuck her up bad. Oh, this should be good. It will be delicious, and I may explain why someday, but not today. She picks up her bottle of swill. Its turpentine fumes drift your way. But when I finally get her, you'll be there, my darling. I'll make it a party. She is terrifying when something doesn't go her way. Holy shit! Scabrous is not a word you hear nearly often enough. That's awesome. Yeah, everybody seemed to like Nightjar. Not Gutshot. Gutshot was an asshole. So, what is Sang Mechanical Services? Josephine's baby. It was a B-rated corporation before she married into the Sang family, but after she fought for and won the contract to rebuild Kowloon Walled City, their fortunes rose high. They began to rise to power that eventually landed Josephine on the executive council. Wait, hang on. So there's a connection between Josephine Sang and the Walled City? Thank you, Gamma Gummo. I do. Yes, the same place Raymond Black hired my runners to take him. I've already connected the dots. I don't know what it means, but it clearly means something. What do you think is the connection between Josephine Sang and this plastic-faced man? I don't know yet, but I will. He called her his client. That may be some sort of lead we can follow. Cheng nods at Wu. Her glance lingers at his biceps a moment before continuing. Right now, all we know is that he is her instrument, the one who killed Raymond Black. Raymond's not dead. Yes, you may have mentioned that before, Gun Show. She smiles at him reprovingly. Regardless, the plastic-faced man is still our best lead for figuring out what's going on. So remind me again who this executive council is? May I, Auntie? Isabel breaks in, giving kindly Cheng a chance to calm down a bit. Hong Kong is run by a consortium of powerful corporations called the Board of Governors, who set up the Executive Council, an 8-member committee of exemplary Hong Kong citizens to represent the people and run the city on their behalf. But of course, you don't vote for them. That'd be too unpredictable. Instead, every 2 years, 2 executive council slots come up for election, and the corporations on the Board of Governors put up some possible candidates and vote among themselves in a closed-door session. Closed door? I'm shocked. Of course, every single one of those candidates is on some corporation's payroll somehow. Wham bam, instant government. Alright, let's cut to the chase. What's our next step? There's nothing we can do to touch Josephine Sang, much as I hate to admit it. But the plastic-faced man is a different story. He's a third-party operative who's been careless, and he'll live to regret it. Her little black eyes turn stony. For a while. If Sang thinks she can take out 2 of my runners and get away with it, I'm going to have to explain things to her. He pulls out a thin black cigar and runs it beneath her nose. We're going to find that plastic-faced man, and we are going to hurt him. We'll hurt him until we know everything he does, and then we will use that to strike back at Josephine Sang. She lights her cigar and takes a deep, deep pull. You will have your vengeance, and I will have my own satisfaction. She turns away and picks up the bottle. Now get out. I have work to do. Oh, okay. Okay, well, we got some good information there. We got a lead. That's good. I like that. Also, shit, she's terrifying. Absolutely, positively terrifying. Oh, man. So let's go ahead and save. After all that, I think we deserve one. Ooh. There we go, game saved. And I think this is going to be a good place to stop for the night. Once again, we finish another run, advance the storyline a bit, got some upgrades. V6, hey, welcome in and thank you. I appreciate that. Very cool of you. How are you doing today? How's your week going? It is that time again, that terrifying moment again, it would appear so. That nocturnal nightmare again, perhaps? It's been a week. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Hopefully the weekend treats you well. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for you. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap up right here, but we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to pick up right where we left off, so if you want to see what's going to happen next, because I know I do, holy shit. I hope I'll see you folks tomorrow. Same time as usual, same game. Thank you all for hanging around, as always. That job done again? Job's done. So yeah, I appreciate you folks hanging around. This has been a blast, and thank you everybody for thanking me for the affiliate anniversary that I didn't even realize I had. I'm going to have to write down the date now. That is awesome. I appreciate you all. I hope I'll see you tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, I hope you have an awesome weekend. But hey, if you can spare one more minute, I would really appreciate it because before we shut things down, we still have to do one thing, and that is... let's see who else is live. So if you're not done watching streams for today, maybe I can send you somewhere cool. I'd love the opportunity. Make sure to hit follow if you haven't already. That'll be the easiest way to find me. Tomorrow or at any point if you'd like to come back, we'd love to have you. And while I'm looking to see who all is live right now, there's some links in chat you might want to check out if you haven't seen them already, including a link to my YouTube if you want to check out any of the games I've played in the past, like the other Shadowruns, or if you want to get caught up on this game, feel free to jump in there. And we have a link to my Discord if you'd like to chat with me or the rest of the community outside of the stream. Feel free to join us in there. We'd love to have you. And, ooh, if he's not wrapping up right now, I think I see where we are going to go. Because he is playing a Stone Cold Classic right here. Let's see if he's still going. Ooh, it looks like he is still going. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love it if you would join us as we go visit someone you might recognize by the name of Fractal Mind Mike. He is a retro streamer that specializes in big box PC games, of which he has a truly amazing collection. And today he is playing a game dear to my heart and hopefully dear to yours as well, Gabriel Knight Sins of the Fathers, the first Gabriel Knight game. So why don't you join us over there, say hi to Mike, hang out for a little bit, throw him a follow if you like what he's doing, but hey, if you've got other things to do, I will just say as I always do, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. I will see you folks tomorrow for some more Shadowrun Hong Kong. Take care of yourselves till then, everybody.